2025. Investigators in Wyoming sought to identify two men they believe left a homemade bomb in front of the state capitol, causing the building's evacuation after a passerby found the bomb and brought it inside. The passerby, believing that someone lost a bomb, was bringing it to the lost and found. An outbreak of hand, foot, and mouth disease has hit Tennessee, affecting 31 schools, 3 daycare centers, and at least 178 students and staff in Shelby County, which includes the city of Memphis. The county health department said cases were first identified in August, but health officials were not notified until early September because Tennessee. U.S. forces have struck another vessel alleged to be carrying drugs, this time in the waters of the Pacific Ocean. At least 34 people have been killed in the American strikes on alleged drug boats, including a recent strike on a semi-submersible submarine in the Caribbean. All of a sudden, Trump shooting someone in the middle of Fifth Avenue seems kind of quaint. This has been the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll with headlines and punchlines for October 23rd, 2025. Join me live at the Church of Last Resort, Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. Eastern Time on MindDog TV.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host or guest and should not be interpreted as a statement of fact. I got the brightness thing going on. Independent fact-checking and corrections are encouraged.
Whoa! Can we get some coffee in here, please?
Oh, yeah. Well, I'll go right now. Right. But nothing's gonna work when I start pushing. Don't push my button.
Damn, My dog is your mind's best friend.
Oh, he's pushing buttons.
My dog is your mind's best friend.
Wake up, America. You've got a dog that needs walking. That's right, sunshine. Just put on a big pot of strong coffee and get ready to type your little hate mail with your opinions about kumbaya and flat earth insanity. Stand-up comedy? You want stand-up comedy? Well, we've got sit-down comedy. It's time for Coffee with a Dog. You make me laugh.
Oh, yeah, very bright over there. Depends on the monitor. Maybe the monitor used to be adjusted. Because I never know what I look like. Not that I care what I look like. Obviously, I'm Mr. Disheveled, but which one's right? Which one's wrong? Pretty collegiate looking, right? You think like I'm like an Ivy League student? Hello, professor. I know it's a sweater. It makes me look like I'm ready for I don't know. Good morning, folks. It is Thursday, right? Thursday. Nope. Oh, look, it shut off all by itself. Thursday. I'm thinking. October, I know it's October 23, October 23rd, 2025. You want stand-up comedy? Yeah, when you got, well, Bear Love might be here. Bear's doing 15 minutes at the Denver Improv tonight. So that's stand-up. We'll make him tell us jokes. You want to hear a funny joke? Tucker Carlson did a thing at the Turning Point USA. And he threatened to kick a kid's ass. Yeah. So anyway, Tucker Carlson threatened to kill. There's nothing funnier than that. Now, Tucker Carlson threatened to kick my ass. Please. I've seen little girls, kindergarten girls who are probably tougher and better fighters than Tucker Carlson. You don't get a big... And you know what? He was threatening to kick a guy's ass over. The guy prefaced his question kid by saying you're worth $50 million. I'm not worth $50 million. Let's be clear. Tucker Carlson was born of it wasn't born into, he was adopted into the Grottons of fish or whatever, the fish company, fish sticks, Gorton's of Gloucester, fish sticks, Mrs. I don't know. Anyway, he born with adopted into a silver spoon family and was rich his whole life. Then he had a gig on CNN for many years on Crossfire. Then he went over to Fox News where he was getting $20 million a year. If he's not worth $50 million, he's worse with money than I am. He was making $20 million a year for a decade. And he's not worth $50 million? Are you fucking kidding me? What kind of weed are you smoking, dude? Tom Myers weed. Anyway, moving on from Tucker Carlson, Fetterman, the ogre, is on Sean Hannity. Now, why doesn't Fetterman just get a fucking MAGA hat and just switch to the Republican Party? He is kissing Trump's ass on everything like a true loyalist MAGA. And maggot. He's on Sean Hannity and he's saying, I can't see why anybody would have a problem getting rid of all these criminals. And if they're going to take issue with that and run me out of the party for it, so be it. I got to say hello to Instagram. I forgot to start us up over there. Hello, Instagram. We there? I don't need, oh, well, it's gone now. Fuck it. Let me take it out of here then. Anyway, but the thing is, Mr. Fetterman, Mr. Ogre, they are not just, I think most Democrats, and I can't speak for the Democrats, but I think most Democrats, they are for getting rid of criminals. But first of all, you have to know they're criminals. You can't just be, oh, they're in a fishing boat, let's blow them up. Or, oh, they're brown and they have tattoos, let's round them up and take them away from their family. Thing called due process. And they're not just taking criminals. They're taking brown people and people with tattoos and gay people. And sooner or later, they will come for ogres. Yeah, they will come for ogres. Let's get rid of why do we need fucking ogres? Let's just deport the ogres. That's the issue. It's not that, criminals. They're not just taking criminals. They're going long beyond criminals and just beating up housewives and taking little kids in handcuffs. Fuck you, you big fucking ogre. Pennsylvania, get your ogre back. I got to calm down. It's Thursday morning. And you know what? My carbon footprint, my carbon footprint has been reduced by getting rid of the kids. Well, they moved out. But holy crap, today's trash day. I had no trash to bring out. How about that? My carbon footprint has been reduced. I feel better about myself. Don't you feel better about me? Anyway, I have commercials to play for Curiosity Box and stuff like that, but I have not loaded them in because I'm a lazy fuck. So I'm going to play the same old fucking commercials that I always play. I'm just sick of them all. How about this one? We haven't played this one in a while. And then we'll say hello to, I found your bomb.
With humble East Coast beginnings in 2015, Daily High Club is the premier destination for glass water pipes, vaporizers, and consumption accessories. If you're looking to elevate your smoking game to the next level, you're in the right place. With over 1 million top-quality smoking products sold, and with a growing base of over 10,000 monthly subscribers worldwide, we deliver the ultimate smoking experience. But Daily High Club is not just a retailer, we're lovers of the smoking scene ourselves, working with giants like Tommy Chong, Snoop Dogg, Chanel West Coast, and more. Ready to join the Daily High Club? Let our experts curate your collection with our awesome El Primo monthly subscription box, or grab one of our fun and unique pieces from our smoke shop. Click the link in the description below this video to get this party started now.
Oh, now. We get a party started now. Ladies and gentlemen, in the room with me now is a man who just keeps returning the bomb I'm throwing out like I lost it. GD Fenderson. Good morning, GD.
Good morning, America. MindDogTV.com. It's day 23. Let me do this again. It's day 23 of our Coffee with the Dog government shutdown advent calendar. What do we have today? Why, it's the official Coffee with the Dog caffeine, or powdered sugar, or powdered sugar for your donuts, or maybe it's chalk for your little league team, for their field because you're a coach and you have to redo the home base. The point is, it's not cocaine, as far as I know.
As far as you know yet. Okay.
Get your Coffee with the Dog government shutdown advent calendar while the shutdown and supplies last. All proceeds from the sales of the government shutdown advent calendar go to a cause. Support your local mercenaries and enjoy the suffering.
So, like a cause, like we have the causeway. Is that what you mean? I don't know what you mean by a cause. I got a letter here addressed to Matthew.
I see the paper.
Addressed to Matthew Napo Jr., who is my son, who has been dead for 10 years.
I'm really sorry about that. I know how you feel because I lost a cat.
You lost it? Because it might be on my front step. What does it look like? Anyway,
it looks dead.
They're offering him a discount on his life insurance, and I'm thinking, like, if I were, I should buy, and then just say, "Whoa, it didn't last long." I mean, you got. Well, can I collect? What can I? Anyway, So, you Tucker Carlson coming to kick your ass, man.
It's not a fight I want, but it's a fight I will win.
I want it. I would I wish I was that kid. How do I get to be that kid where Tucker Carlson threatens to kick my ass? Come on!
I have one of those calendars that says I've gone so many days without a fist fight, and I really would hate to break that streak. But if I do break the streak, I'm gonna break it off in somebody's ass.
That's a good point. I you know what? Fist fight. I would about 2 or 3 years ago. I got into a wrestling match with a young kid who was he was breaking into a neighbor's house. The lady had just passed away, and the kids were maintaining the house. And this kid was to the neighborhood. And he had been robbing cars and stuff. And I caught him red-handed. But it's not a fist fight. I got him in a full Nelson and held him there and yelled at somebody to call the cops. And I had to wrestle like with a kid in his young 20s for about 20 minutes while the cops came. That was the last time I got into any kind of physical altercation like that. But I used to get in fights a little time. That doesn't qualify as a fist fight, though.
It's funny. This happened years ago. I was in my 20s, and I was working at this store called Woodward and Lothrop, or Woody's, as we locally call it. It was like the Maryland version of Macy's. It was big. It was a high-end store like Macy's is in New York. As a matter of fact, Woody's eventually got bought by, I think, Macy's, or by a hat company which bought Macy's, which Macy's bought. But anyway, it was a high-end store. And one of my friends was a security guard, and I see him huffing and puffing, chasing this black guy across the parking lot. And the black guy's running toward me. And he's got arms full of merchandise. And he's running toward me, and he looks at me like he doesn't think I'm gonna stop him because I'm black also. And my friend, the security guard, is white, and he's chasing him. And I know he's not going to catch him because he's just out of shape. And so I grabbed him, I picked him up, and I threw him in the car, and I held him till my friend got there. And he goes, "Man, you're black." I said, "Yeah, you're a thief."
See, that's a difference between the races. I gotta tell you, no white guy running with contraband that he just stole is gonna look at a white guy and say, "He's not gonna stop me. He's white." That just wouldn't happen. I don't think. I don't know. Not that I've ever taken a bunch of contraband and run through a parking lot and seen a white guy ready to stop me.
You've got to try it. You've got to try it.
I'm not at this age. Running. Forget about holding contraband. Just the thought of running. I'm already dead.
to get your scooter and drive across the parking lot with the merch. Matter of fact, steal a scooter. They'll never expect it because there's an old man with a scooter. They have no idea that it's not yours until it runs out of juice.
We're expecting Beavers and the Bear possibly today. I don't know. I thought both of them might be here. I don't know. It's
actually, you missed the opportunity when you made that bucket to make it into a joke. A bear and a beaver walk into a bear and a beaver walk into a show or something like that.
You know what? Well, next time you make the bucket. How about that?
No, I'm not doing it.
Oh,
every time I do something for you, somebody else gets mad at me.
I had an explanation. It was just a bad week. Anyway, that's what I was told was the explanation. It was a bad week, or whatever. Speaking of beavers, we got a beaver here now. Want to say hello to a beaver?
All right, bring the beaver in.
Good morning, Mr. Beavers.
Good morning. How are you guys doing?
Are there different kinds of beavers? Because I was trying to look for beaver pictures yesterday, and none of them looked alike. It was like,
what kind of beavers were you looking at, though?
He was on Pornhub.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Oh, well, that was the thing. A lot of them look like vaginas.
Okay, I was going to say.
And there was one that looked like a roast beef sandwich.
Yeah, when I worked at Planned Parenthood, there were lots of different types of beavers.
Yeah. One of them looked like a vagina, but it had teeth like a dam builder. A dam building builder of a beaver.
It's a hardworking vagina right there.
Yeah. They call that the vagina dentata, right?
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Yeah, you can always throw dentata onto anything. And
yeah.
So I have questions for you because this person who, I don't know who the fuck he was. He was a pedophile. He was a joke thief. He was on this program. I don't remember who the fuck he was. But he gave up his pipe dream of being a comedian to go into bank robbing. And then I see him on a stage that has Slaptail Nation behind him. What are you doing a disservice to humanity?
I think John is also doing helping people with rehab.
Yeah, but it's like putting a pedophile in a kindergarten class, isn't it? Like putting him on a comedy stage?
No, because most of the people who go to comedy are, they have to be over a certain age. So we're really helping because there's no way he's going to score with adults.
Yeah, no, that's not exactly what I didn't think he was going to be raping the audience. I just figured that subjecting what he calls comedy onto poor innocent people might make them cry.
I mean, well, when I introduced him, I say he's not a comedian. So,
why did the white guy think he wouldn't get caught stealing? No, it was a black guy that thought he wouldn't get caught stealing, right? Because he figured
it was a black guy.
Oh, this is a joke. I didn't know. Yeah. Why did the white guy think he wouldn't get caught stealing? Because he figured, what's the worst that could happen? A warning and a coupon. Oh, a coupon. Well, now I'm tempted to go out stealing. Do I get a coupon? Well, I'm not really white. I'm kind of
but you do get an AARP discount.
You get a discount, right? Everywhere you go.
Yeah.
Now, I'm glad we mentioned that because I've had, or at least, I think I've been eligible for an AARP card since I was like 30 because I think that's when they send them out.
You don't want that.
No, I'm just saying that's when they send them to you.
Yeah, they started.
So I was just wondering. Now, so like Matt, when you go out, do you take advantage of the senior discount? And John, would you take advantage of the senior discount?
Well, I already get a discount as a veteran, so at most places.
I look for senior discounts. I have to, but I found out yesterday, because I was dealing with my mortgage company. Like my mortgage rate went way the fuck up because
they give you an AARP discount.
No, but hear me out here. They have my mortgage rate went up. I called the bank. I said, "Why the fuck did it go way up?" I'm thinking it because I have homeowners insurance rolled into it, and they said, "No, your homeowners insurance is only $55 a month." Like, oh, damn. My property tax is $2,700 a month, and the lady said, "I know."
God dang! You should. Holy crap!
I know. But the lady said, "How old are you?" I said, and I told her my age. And well, what about your wife? She's getting it. She's over the age where AARP starts sending you stuff. She said, "Well, you can go to your town. You can't call them up, or you can't write them a letter, but you have to go to the town and file for a senior tax exemption, and we can reduce your mortgage payment by probably $2,500."
Damn, that's good.
Oh, Well, that's a senior discount I can fucking relate to now. 2,500 a month. Yeah. Now I almost feel like
so the discount is not on the actual property, but on the property tax.
Yeah, because the property taxes are rolled into the mortgage and this whole thing. So,
but I'm saying, but the discount isn't actually for the for the house, but it's for the
right.
The taxes.
I just my bank takes care of everything. I just give them everything. But yes, it's just the property tax. But they said now because you got to go there and prove you got no kids in the house, that proof of occupancy, that you're both seniors and all that, and they give you some kind of property tax exemption because you're not paying for school taxes and all.
Wow, is that nationwide?
I think so. According to the bank is in Utah, so yeah, I would assume.
That's interesting. I have a question about that. So if you do that and you get that reduction, does that bring down the value of your property because at that time they know your home is going to smell like old people?
Probably. And not only old people, but soon to be dead old people, because everybody who comes to this neighborhood, they come here to die. This is the place to go when you want to. Well, most people go to Florida, but if you're not going to go to Florida and you don't have a shuffleboard, I don't know. What do you have a shuffleboard?
I'm going to have to talk to my wife about that. I'm going to ask her about that because here's my beef with property taxes.
I don't think you can get it though.
Oh, I thought he was going to talk to his wife about getting a shuffleboard thing
because they don't give black people breaks.
Oh, yeah, they don't let black people play shuffleboard.
You have to send your wife.
But my wife is white, so that's
what I'm saying. Send your wife.
I'll send her.
Now, fucking white woman stealing.
This is my first of all. She came along willingly. And also reparations.
Yeah, throw that disclaimer out there.
Yeah, she came along willingly and reparations. My beef with property taxes is it's only good when your property value goes up. It only goes up if you're selling it. You understand what I'm saying? I bought my house with so much money, and if I don't sell it, I'm not making a profit on it. I'm just living in it.
Right. But you want the value to be looking like. You don't want to have a super high value when they're assessing you from the county. Like that's where we're at. Because
the thing is, why does my property tax go up at all if I'm not trying to sell it?
Exactly.
See, that's just it. If my value, as long as it maintains the value, I can see not wanting it to drop because it affects everybody that way. But if I'm maintaining my property and there's no reason for it to be dropping, why am I paying extra taxes?
Because everything else goes up around you because they're going to use that money for other things for the county because you're paying that money.
And you're not selling it now, but
ever because I'd have to move and I'm never fucking moving until I'm dead.
But that's the point. Someday you will be dead and that property will still have to have that value attached to it.
Okay, then let the new buyer pay the higher taxes. Why?
You know what? You should run for Congress and try to address this thing.
I did try to address it without running for Congress, but I will try to address it.
For Congress. I'm running for Congress.
Good job. I have new merch. I just wanted to show you guys.
Well, what kind of merch?
This is my new sticker.
Oh, cool. All right.
Let me blow you up. I just found the bomb outside. Ah, that's nice. It looks like a CD cover, to be honest with you. Like
it does, doesn't it?
Yeah. Is it a coaster? Is it a
no? It's actually a sticker, but this is the cool thing about it. You know how most stickers you get, they're so hard to peel off the back because everybody sells the ones that are solid in the back.
Right.
I had to look at multiple companies to get this one that's split in the back, so it's an easy.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. This is I think they're called Machine Shop.
Right.
And they are really, really good. So shout out to Machine Shop.
Well, you just said something. You know how when you get a sticker, and I was like, no.
Now I
can't remember the last time I got a sticker.
The Reverend was getting ready to get some air fresheners, with his picture on it. It was on his picture on the front and on the back. And it was the Reverend's picture on the front. If you turn it around, it's the same picture but from the back. And it's an air freshener for the car. And it was going to be Black Ice or Black Eyes.
Oh yeah, that's one of my favorite ones. Black Ice is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's Machine Studio. It's Machine Studio. And if you mention Coffee with a Dog, you don't get anything. That's okay.
You get a coupon if you're white.
You get 10% off just going there.
Brendan Sarek said you got to. Trump did this with his. This is why Ivanka is supposedly in the
golf course.
Yeah, not Ivanka. Ivana is in the golf course. you got to dig up all your relatives and bury them in your backyard so you don't got to pay taxes no more or anymore.
Or any less.
I'm not sure if that's only in New Jersey. Is that a nationwide
Well,
thing?
the thing is, in New Jersey, chances are there's already a body in your backyard. Just claim it's a relative. You just find the body, like Matt did. Only Matt's not even in New Jersey. He goes to a house, moves in, and finds 7 bodies in the back.
I never once forgot where I buried a body. I just want to. That's people forget where they bury.
Yeah, but sometimes you don't have time to bury it. You just like throwing it out of a moving car, and you don't really. Then you have to go back to find out where you have to backtrack.
That's what Rex Heuermann did, I think. Okay, well, but he didn't like just throw him out of a moving car. He stopped, threw it in the woods, and then just hopped back in the car and took off. That's what I'm.
And is that the one that RFK went and found and took back to eat, to cook or something? Chainsawed it.
Here's the thing and the DA is still sticking to the story. One of the victims was found in the marshes with her pants around her knees. Oh no, well, her pants were clear off. The panties were around her knees. And they're saying that she wasn't a victim. She was just lost and running for the lighthouse. And her pants accidentally fell off and she kept running. Ridiculous. And the DA is sticking with that story.
Ridiculous.
And it's not like there are 20 other bodies there. They're just this one. They're insisting that she's not a victim, and her pants accidentally fell off.
She just likes to run around with her pants down.
Yeah.
No, who doesn't?
In the marshes. She was.
You know what really bothers me as a true crime aficionado? There's some things that really bother me that happens in general in reporting and things that people get shocked about. Like if you find let's talk about people floating, when bodies are found in a body of water, they're always like, oh my God, we just found a head or we just found an arm. And their gut reaction as the public is, and as the media, because they perpetrate this, is to say, they were dismembered. No, most likely they were not dismembered. Killers don't dismember bodies typically. What happened was they weighted down the limbs, or they weighted down the head, and the water accelerates the decomposition, and the weight separates those tendons, ligaments, and everything. Right. So you're just going to find parts. They didn't dismember them.
Right.
And they tell the difference between dismembering and in nature doing its business.
Right. Or they'll say, they just always say dumb shit like that. Or here's the other one that I find interesting. When people actually are dismembered, is that people make a big deal out of it that they were dismembered naked. Well, of course they were dismembered naked. You know how hard it is to cut through another layer of clothing. Why would you make it hard on yourself? If you found a body that was dismembered but clothed, that's a true psychopath. Because they're like, oh, I want to make it harder. I'm going to cut through this jeans also. Yay.
Maybe it was using a chainsaw. If a chainsaw wouldn't really
but there's a lot of splashback with chainsaws.
Just in general, you're not going to dismember a clothed body. That's just dumb. That's a waste of time. Speaking of my other merch, I also got this one.
I don't know if after the dismember. Oh, wait. I'm trying to blow you up here. I don't know if after this dismembership. Is that what dismembership?
That's when they. That's when they kick you out of the club. Dismembership.
Dismembering.
Dismembership is when you're separated from your Siamese twin.
All right.
Dismembership.
I don't know what words.
Or when you've been Lorena Bobbitt.
I'm new to words. This whole concept of words is fucking me up.
Oh yes, Brandon. It is cliche to hear "thank you for your service," and I actually don't like that. I prefer you just say, "Oh, that's cool."
Where were you yesterday when we were talking to a guy about the vets coming home from Vietnam War?
I was working.
Why do you work? Why do people
I don't
work?
know. I don't know the answer to that question.
Yeah. So
no, I want to see that movie though. I really want to see that movie. I'm gonna have to find it.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of it last night. Again, this is an issue. I'm old. I sit on my couch. I turn on the TV before the opening credits are done. I can't stay awake. I can't stay awake. I can watch it on here, but I can't watch it in the comfort of my living room, sitting on.
Sounds like you just don't like hanging out with your wife.
Oh, she's never around.
Oh, okay.
She wasn't. Yeah.
I was just trying to cause trouble.
She's got a boyfriend.
No. If you really want to cause problems, when you wake up in the morning, when you see your spouse in the morning, say, you were talking in your sleep last night. Who's Raymond?
Ah.
And why were you smiling like that?
That would be fucked up because both her brother and her father, who just passed in the last 2 years, were both Raymond.
So okay, I should have picked a different. Well, you could choose your own name. Don't choose one that I made up. don't choose a name that I made up.
Yeah, Raymond. Where did you get Raymond from? There's no.
Just commonly, you know, GD's mind works that weird way where he'll just pick out something just arbitrary like that.
Yeah,
he didn't pick Joe or Bob or even John. It's just Raymond.
Yeah, everybody loves Raymond.
Ezekiel.
I don't know where it came from. It was just the first name that popped into my head when I was thinking of a name you could throw out there.
Also, to clarify, Steven wasn't on stage because we couldn't get his large ass up on stage.
I thought he was because that was gonna be a question. Like, where'd you get a crane?
He was right next to the stage.
Wow.
Yeah, I actually like to where this was just an open mic too, so don't give him credit. He was just on an open mic.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
But I like to put obstacles in his way when he's onto the stage, when he's coming to the stage. And I encourage other people to do the same.
I like that.
Paper traps, those little glue traps.
So for not being on the stage, I give you a lot of credit for lighting his big fat ugly face up.
Yeah, the lighting in there is so bad.
Why would you torment people and letting them see his face?
Because the lighting in there is so dark, and they have like a lot of front windows, and so as soon as the sun sets, it's very dark in there. And the only thing that's lit up really is they've got some lighting from the ceiling, but they also have their dartboards lit up.
Oh,
but they don't have other lighting, so I had to bring my spotlight in from the other venue just to light that area.
Oh.
You see, I have my own lights that I bring. If I know the venue doesn't have usually if I'm doing a show, I will check the venue out in advance. And if I don't like their lighting, I will bring additional lighting that I can, the clamp-on ones. So
I would. Well, yeah, if I had more room and I would get rid of like most of my junk, which I hope I do soon, I would get the actual light cage or whatever you call them, like the DJs use.
Right.
Just to light the comedians. I think that would be a lot. It would look nice.
Yeah.
Have you seen remember Kyle Rittenhouse, the kid who
was that the West Coast protest shooter?
He was
Minnesota, right? Minnesota, Wisconsin, something like that.
I gotta show you this picture if I can really get it. It looks like let me share this. Oh my god, it looks like he's become Kyle Waffle House.
Hey, big boy, he's chunky.
He wasn't petite then.
No, but he was young, so he had like some baby. He looked like
baby fat. Yeah,
baby fat. Yeah, that kid's life is ruined. He looks like Big Boy.
Big Boy, right?
Yes, Bob Big Boy. Yes,
like he's trying intentionally to look like Big Boy. Like this is his Halloween costume.
Or he wants the job where he can be like the spokesperson. Like he wants to be the Jared of Bob's Big Boy. He wants to be their spokesperson.
Jared.
So his not only is his life ruined, but he's also getting a picture with Tucker Carlson.
Oh, that's his life.
Yeah.
That was right before Tucker Carlson threatened to kick somebody's ass, which is kind of ridiculous.
Come on.
I mean, that would be a pay-per-view. I think I could sell because a lot of people would like to see Tucker try, and I not for anything, but that laugh that this because it was. I was thinking about this last night. They were making fun of Kamala Harris's laugh. Tucker Carlson was making fun of Kamala Harris's laugh.
Her genuine laugh.
Yeah, and
her laugh actually seems like she's laughing.
Right.
Yeah, his laugh seems like a nervous reflex,
or like something from like one of these really cheap horror movies, Halloween, like a bad Freddy Krueger thing.
Yeah. Or like one of those little buttons that you go like.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Like
I don't know. They used to have this little doll that was like a clown, and if you push the button, it had this laugh that went on for like 30 seconds or so.
Creepy.
Huh.
Creepy.
Then they just sold the box itself outside of the clown's body. You could just buy the box. You didn't have to buy the clown too. Okay, I guess I'm the only one.
Okay. All right, dead air. Sorry. Just kidding.
You hear that sound of
crickets?
Dead air. Wow. Tomorrow we have a buzzkill kind of show. A guy who's going to come on and talk about 7 principles of what these. I'm just going to sell my pick a number. 7 principles of how to whatever and blah blah blah.
7 principles of calling out the name Raymond in your sleep.
Yeah, it's buzzkill authors. That's what they are. They're like this. I don't want to get better. I don't want to learn how to clean my room, Jordan Peterson. Leave me alone. I just want to be a loser. I'm a happy loser.
Yeah, I want to write a book. I want to write a book where it's just all terrible. Or I want to write a book where it's not encouraging at all. I thought about this the other day, and I'm going to name the book something like It Never Gets Better.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I said, it doesn't get better. That's exactly what I was thinking.
I feel like that'd be the most honest thing to do, because all these self-help books, they say the same shit. Most of them are making money off of a self-help book. That's their success, was making, and then they go touring, but they never actually had any success other than this self-help book and touring and talking about people. And they're miserable. You can tell they're miserable. They're blowing smoke up your ass, but they're miserable.
I wouldn't be, and half the time they're spouting the same things, but they change a few words so it makes it sound like they came up with this concept.
Yeah.
I came up with this concept of while you're sleeping, your eyes move back and forth, and your subconscious mind communicates with you. And I call it, I call it subletting.
I have to
because your brain is letting you know stuff. It's subletting.
That's comment. This is the comment. Stephen is saying it looks like my Just for Men came in. Looks good. Now, Stephen, there's something wrong with your monitor, because if we there's a lot of gray in there, and I was just looking at it last night and thinking I needed to do a little touch up black. So fix your monitor, man. That's all I'm saying. The Cosby sweater, it's an Ivy League sweater. I'm just I applied to Harvard last night and they laughed.
More like he tried to join a barbershop quartet and he
Really? I would just like to mention this merch again.
Go ahead.
Let's go. I'm selling these for
wait, that's the wrong one.
I'm selling these for $99.99.
Wait, hold it still, will you? $99.99. That's kind of
well, if you
that looks like a cock coming out of his mouth. That tongue looks very cockish.
They're not tongues. Those are beaver teeth.
Yeah.
That's a beaver skull.
Oh, it looks like a big black cock hanging out of his.
Oh, well, I'll take that under advisement, but no one else has said that. But this is the cool thing about it.
Maybe it's because I see big black cocks wherever I look.
That could be it.
It'd be like the singular vein straight down the middle.
This is what's cool about this, is that it's got the hook pile tape on the back so that you can put it on your body armor. And so I'm recruiting for my private army. Thank you.
I misplaced my body armor. I just
this is my body armor right here.
Well, your body armor is fucked.
Yeah, there we go. That's my body armor.
Yeah. Can I ask you guys about the ogre? You guys, don't follow the ogre. I don't want to follow the ogre. I want the ogre to go away.
What's the ogre?
The ogre, John Fetterman of Pennsylvania, ogre. He's like 9 foot tall, bald, looking like weird teeth. He looks like an ogre. Pennsylvania went out of their way to get this guy elected because he was going to be like a true
progressive.
Yeah, progressive. And now he's just like as soon as he got elected, he became a MAGA ogre. But he's still in the Democratic Party. It's just, but he's saying that he's acting like the Democrats don't want criminals arrested, which is the fucking MAGA bullshit line. They're not arresting just criminals. If they were just arresting criminals and giving them due process and finding out that they were actual criminals.
If they were actually arresting criminals, Trump would be in jail.
True.
Oh, that's a good point. But I mean, if they were really giving people, and we knew that they were just, deporting criminals, that would be fine. I think everybody would be, okay, good job. But they're taking people. Oh, he looks like a criminal. Oh, he looks like he could be. Look at his skin color. Look at his tattoos. Whatever. Oh, he's gay. Let's fucking throw him out. And sooner or later, they will come for ogres. It's the old Nazi thing. I mean, I don't know where the ogres fall on the list, but I'm just sick of this guy. And GD, you would know this. Can you recall a senator? Like you can recall a governor. Can't recall a senator?
No.
Why? Shouldn't you be allowed to?
Actually, I think even recalling a governor depends on the state.
I thought you could impeach senators too. You can't do that?
Well, you can't. Now, that's different, but that's not recalling. Recalling is a different process than impeaching.
I don't know. I don't know things.
Yeah. And in not every state you can recall your governor.
Really?
And it's not like a national law.
I want to bang
that's why it seems like only California has these elections where you can recall your governor.
Well, what about Elliot Spitzer? I don't know if you remember Elliot Spitzer.
I don't know if he got recalled or if he just got hookered out.
Hookered out.
I want to bang my governor. My governor's hot.
You live in Michigan. That's of
course
yeah. You do.
I mean, God, I love her so much.
I'm definitely.
I don't know what our policies are. I don't even know what those are.
Don't even care. But
I don't care.
Matt saw her dancing once at a DNC event or something, and he's been like ever since.
Oh my God, he like wears like.
Oh no, it was long before that. I forget when it was. It was during Trump's first term. She was the one who was given the retort to what a retard giving a retort.
Giving a retort to the retard, yeah.
The State of the Union address. She went out and gave the Democratic response to the State of the Union address, right. And I was like, yeah, baby.
Oh man, you know what happens is every time I turn around, she's in Kalamazoo, and people get pictures with her, and I'm never where that happens. I'm like, what the fuck again? And then people know, so they'll send like my wife pictures of them with Governor Whitmer, and just to show them to me. I'm like, you motherfuckers.
Well, don't worry, John. Just so you know, when I'm up there in April, I'm inviting her to the show.
What are you doing up there in April?
God, I hope so.
What
are you doing up there in April? You got you got a show in Michigan in April? You plan that far in advance?
Well, it's because of the day. Because of the day I want a Saturday.
Oh. So, but I'm glad you brought up the book thing, the self-help books, because my book, Talking with Strangers, I'm not going to say this definitely, but it will be out before Christmas, but you might even be able to order it in time to get it for Christmas. It goes off to the publisher tomorrow.
Nice.
And we'll see if we can get it.
Now, is this the book that you started writing 45 years ago? And you're just getting around to finishing because the AI guy goes, no, we can finish your book with AI.
No, it's called Talking with Strangers. And I started writing it 500 episodes into the evening, the Mind Dog TV podcast. And so that would have been around 2021, something like that, late 2021.
Now, are you worried that MAGA is going to buy all of it because they think it's going to be a help guide for pedophiles?
It is going to be a help guide for pedophiles. That's what the tagline is. Well, the tagline is really a self-help memoir for broken people. That's the tagline of it. But it's all about, because I don't know. Oh, about me. But generally in public, I'm pretty shy and quiet, and I don't talk to strangers. But I don't talk to people. I don't talk to people I know well. I do talk to strangers. I feel more comfortable talking to people for the first time than people I've known all my life. Like if around people all my life, I'm just like a quiet guy.
That's true. Matt talks to me less and less. I know.
That's true.
I mean, that's understandable.
So
before Matt got to know me, he used to talk to me like 12 hours a day. Now he's like 12 seconds a week if I can avoid it.
All I gotta do is spend 5 minutes talking to GD about all those crazy thoughts in his head, and you're like, wow, this guy's nuts. This guy's nuts.
And he won't let you help
him carry. This guy's a little.
Let you help him carry anything.
A little eccentric. I'm just saying.
Here's Fetterman now. I believe my party betrayed Israel through the Gaza war.
Because we did what exactly?
Called Hamas and said, "Go ahead, paratroop in on October. I don't know what did the Democrats have to do with starting the Gaza war or perpetuating the Gaza war? Or is it they're using the word Gaza war?
Yeah, war implies that they were actually fighting back or could fight back.
I don't know. This guy, it seems like he was. I mean, I hate to be a dope, but it seems like he's a plant. Like he ran as a Democrat, even though he never really. But he was a lieutenant governor or something, right? What was?
Yeah, but the lieutenant governors are elected separately. It's not like you're a running mate. So, for example, if you lived in Pennsylvania, you could run for lieutenant governor regardless of who the governor is, I think.
Oh, I thought it was like all on one ticket. See how stupid I am?
Well, I know some. Well, okay, let me.
In New York,
yeah, you could be from two different parties, right? Sometimes they have like.
In theory, you could be, yeah.
Oh,
it's not likely only because it's a matter of popularity as well. But now I think there was a time when I think the vice president was if two people ran for president, the president was the one who got the most votes, and the vice president was the one who came in second.
I think Aaron Burr was the last time that happened, right? Wait a minute.
And we know how that turned out, right? No,
how did it turn out? Did somebody
didn't somebody get shot?
Yeah, what's a little bullet wound?
But at least they didn't tear down the White House.
Yeah.
I'm still pissed off about that.
The best thing about
I don't want any monuments to that man left standing.
Well, you know what's kind of yesterday somebody was comparing Trump's ballroom to Obama's basketball court.
I knew that was coming. I knew that because someone said that last night. They said, that's not the first time somebody's made changes to the White House. And I thought and my wife says, "You're not talking politics, are you?" I'm like, "No, honey, we're talking architecture."
Wow. But yeah, I mean, you could have went with Jimmy Carter putting solar panels on and all that kind of stuff. I mean, just to go, basketball court is not really to the house; it's to the yard. And Melania done stuff with the Rose Garden. You go back to Jackie O with the Rose Garden. The yard is one thing.
I mean, they put a bowling alley in the thing, in the.
That's true, right? You're not joking about that. A bowling
alley.
No,
they have like a 3-lane or a 6-lane.
Yeah, I thought it was a 2-lane, but it could be a 3. I thought it was a 2-lane bowling alley.
It's not very.
Have you gone bowling in the last 20 years, 20, 30 years, 40 years?
Yeah, I have. But
you have?
Yeah.
People still bowl?
Yeah, a lot of people do. Like, hey, you want to do something? Yeah, let's do something.
But most people that bowl, at least if you're in a league, it's an addiction for the most part.
I had no desire to be in a league. Just
throw
ball.
I have my own 2 balls. I have my own balls, my own shoes, my own bags.
Wait, you have your own balls?
Yeah.
My wife got mine.
Well, these aren't the same weight. One's a 12-pounder, the other one's a 16-pounder.
Oh, junk mail. God, I'm getting so much fucking junk mail now every day. It's
why? First, you got mail for your dead son. Now you got mail for your dead dick.
No, this is a different kind of mail. It's
a different kind of junk mail. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, I don't like the way you put that.
Yeah.
With your dead dick?
Yes.
Yeah, kind of sad.
Yes.
I'm now depressed. Thank you.
I'm
actually more depressed. I'm always depressed, but I'm just more depressed. Matt, how are you coming on my commission?
I was just kind of starting it last night. I just doing
really? I'm excited. Oh my god! I'm excited. So excited.
The background for it, I'm gonna do like a woodsy scene. It's kind of like they're sitting around a fire. Is that?
Oh my god! I'm so excited. I can't wait.
You know what's going to be the hardest part of this? I was thinking about it last night. The Braxy, or is that what it's called? Braxy.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a weird, because according to what I'm seeing, I never heard of this fucking thing before, but it's small, and they're big. Bigfoot and Mothman are both 6'9". It's just getting a perspective.
Well, here's the story: is that they can't really tell you how big Braxy is. They actually think Braxy might be 11 feet tall or some crazy thing.
Oh,
but the story is, if I remember correctly, kids walking through the woods or people are walking through the woods and they see this spade-shaped head which is the Braxy head, and the glowing eyes, and they think they thought it was like in this big encased metal uniform or outfit. So they estimate it's probably like 10 feet tall or something like that.
Yeah.
But of course, also they're like, it was probably an owl on a tree because that's the only time they've ever seen it. But if you look, there's lots of graphics out there that are pretty helpful that can kind of show you what the proportion is. And they actually, Braxy's been in like video games, and I got my son a trading card, like, and I think in Japan they made like monster trading cards. So yeah, you could make it tall. I mean, it's pretty. They can be anywhere from 7 to 10 feet tall, I guess. So
all right,
and make it tall and have him give scoliosis, so he bends over. So he's 11 feet, but he looks 7.
Now, because I don't know much about Mothman either, I know with Bigfoot they have Sasquatch or Yeti, whatever you fucking call it. They
what
have
part of the country you're in.
They have like hair samples, DNA, not DNA. They have to have DNA if they got hair samples. But they got squat. They got shit samples and all this. Are there anything from Mothman like that, or is it just sightings?
All like very major sightings, frequent sightings in a short period of time. And the first time that I went to Point Pleasant, I went to a comic book store. I think it's called Brown's Corner. Great comic book store. And I was talking to the elderly lady there, and I think that she was the mom of the son. They ran it together, and there was nobody in the shop. This wasn't during a festival time. It was just us stopping by to visit. And I asked her about it because she was old enough to remember it. And she said, it was just a big black bird.
Big black
I'm like,
bird.
okay, but you actually saw it. She's like, yeah, everybody saw it. It was a huge, she's like, it was a huge black bird. It's not a man. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, and then I was like, well, was she real? Did I imagine that? Or was she sent by the men in black to throw me off the trail? But no, there was lots of sightings. But the thing is, it couldn't have been a bird by what they speculate, because that entity is like, I think like estimated like 7 to 9 feet tall or something like that. And its wingspan would not lift a bird. In other words, it wasn't a big enough wingspan to lift a bird. And the reports are that it didn't really flap its wings anyway. It took off. So I think it's a suit. I think it's like an alien that came scouting and is in a specific, like, like a suit that you would wear as a soldier or a Marine or whatever. I think
Or if you're like an astronaut and used to the atmospheric pressure.
Sure. Yeah.
You know what's curious though, because I didn't even know there was one in West Virginia. The one that I've heard about most is North Carolina or something.
Yeah, North Carolina's had sightings too of the that really scary one. What's it called? The it's not a rig.
Republican?
The North Carolina Creeper or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Republican.
Yeah. No, but West Virginia has tons of cryptids. I think West Virginia has more cryptids than any other state. Maybe Kentucky. Kentucky has a lot too.
You know what? If I do a Google search, that's the first one that comes up. I don't know why it didn't get more publicity than the North Carolina one. I think there should be like the West Virginia one's agent needs to be held accountable for the publicity going all to the North Carolina one.
That's interesting.
What is there a prevailing theory about what this thing is? Is like there or any like, because with the abominable snowman, Sasquatch, Yeti, it's kind of a lot of people will say it's like a missing link, something that survived undetected for all these years. Is there any kind of like theory?
I think most people think that Mothman is a visitor from another planet.
Visitor from another planet.
Yeah, they've like even the Mothman comic. The Mothman comic is pretty cool. It was written by God, who wrote it, but the art is really cool. But in the Mothman comic, his spaceship crashes, and so he's stranded here. But it's Frank Franzetta. Have you heard of Frank Franzetta?
Yeah.
He has really cool.
Oh, hold on a second. I gotta zoom in here. Boopity bee. Oh, he just looks like a silhouetted boy. It's really hard to see his face. Yeah, I want to see his face because the thing I was going to ask next is Mothman. It must be a little bit, I don't know, offended that he's not Butterfly Man.
And moths are cool. It depends on your point of view.
Moths are so fucking ugly. I'm sorry if Mothman is out there listening. I take that.
Have you ever seen The Tick? The cartoon The Tick?
Oh yeah,
The Tick.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I love that cartoon.
Isn't that the Seinfeld thing? Wait a minute. Hold on. I thought that. Right? I thought. Oh no, I'm thinking of a TV show. The guy who played Putty was the
right. But I'm talking about forget the. The live action shows sucked. The animated series was great.
Yeah.
And Arthur was a moth.
Yeah, Arthur. Yeah, it was funny.
That show was.
Did he play bass for Red Hot Chili Peppers? Papers? Chili Peppers?
Yeah, the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
That's a tribute band.
Yeah. Yeah. But Mothman is I don't know, aliens. Now,
why not make him from another? If you're gonna have a fictitious thing, why not make him interesting? Like at least in Buckaroo Banzai, they're on this planet. They're just at a different frequency. They're like in the 8th dimension. You know, the whole Buckaroo Banzai thing. I like that.
You seem to be tuned into this whole cartoonish. What is Buckaroo Banzai? I've heard the name.
Oh, that is a very good cult classic movie. It's a cult classic along the lines of Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Really? Is that big?
Again, cult wise, yes, cult wise, it's very big. Yeah.
Buckaroo, how do you spell Banzai? I don't know.
Banzai. It had Weller in it, the guy who played RoboCop.
Peter Weller.
He was in it. He was a star.
John Lithgow, Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, Lithgow was in it. Yeah.
Ellen Barkin, Christopher Lloyd. Wow.
Yeah.
What an all-star cast. How come I never seen it? Lewis Smith. Now that Lewis Smith, nobody would know who the fuck he is, but he was in a couple of cool movies. I don't remember the name of them, but they were like kid, HBO kid movies, time travel movies, whatever. But pretty big cast. Yeah.
Did you see Jeff Goldblum?
Jeff Goldblum, yes.
Yeah, he was in it.
Fly.
Yeah, he was in it. Like I said, I have not watched it for a little bit. Again, because it doesn't come on TV that often. It's like at least with the Rocky Horror Picture Show, I think they'll show that on television around Halloween. But there is no holiday associated with Buckaroo Banzai. It's not like they have an 8th dimension holiday or an alien abduction holiday that you could celebrate.
I have not heard of Buckaroo Banzai.
Rocky Horror, people used to line up for the movie theaters on Halloween, like
to act it out.
Yeah,
the midnight show. Who you can go into a movie theater at midnight for? I don't know. The only back in the day when we were 14 years old, sneaking into the Regent in Bayshore, the porn movie theater at midnight was something. But I don't know, go to see a movie at midnight. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right.
Only if I was off the next day.
Yeah.
I really did. I've watched Buckaroo Banzai lots of times.
Have you
I don't know if I have it. I do not know if I had it on VHS at one point. I do not think I have it in DVD or Blu-ray. I know I don't have it in Blu-ray because I only have 2 Blu-ray discs.
Do you still have players for all these things?
Yeah. Oh God. I have a portable DVD player with a rechargeable battery with the screen that pops up it's like a laptop, but instead of a computer, it's just a DVD player.
Huh.
I used to take it because I used to work on the road, and I used to take it with me so I could watch movies in my hotel room.
I still have not played the Crack the Sky CDs. I went up into my attic to find the CD player. I didn't even plug it in or anything, but I found it and brought it down just in case I want to play the Crack the Sky CDs. I'm surprised I saved the fucking thing, to be honest with you.
Now, funny, what I haven't done is I have not written John Palumbo to tell him how much I like the CD, which I should have done.
He's probably waiting to hear from you.
Yeah, he probably is. I should have texted him. I should have texted him and said I really liked it.
I think he's following us on Instagram right now.
Because the thing I like about this one, the Baker's Files, is this was stuff that he wrote. He wrote and recorded on a regular recorder or something. Back when he was out, he wasn't with the band anymore. But he never finished the songs. He finished them, but he just did the piano part and his voice, and that's it. And so what the band did was they got a hold of these 5 records, and then they wrote the rest of the music around it. So they took his archival stuff, and it's like having classic Crack the Skye, like when he first started with the first few albums. That style of writing, the way he wrote then, but with the band.
That's a bitch, especially for the drummer to be able to.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's
without a click track or anything, just to play to a piano.
It says right here, it's a bitch to. Yeah. Matter of fact, the drummer, where is he?
Wait, I'm quoted.
Yeah, Joe D'Amico. Joe D'Amico says it was a bitch at the very bottom. He says,
and not in quotes, and no Matt Nappo.
No. With the quote about you, it says Matt Nappo is a bitch. But
I was worried when they came out with that.
Yeah, because he won't listen to the CD.
Album. I was afraid they wouldn't stay true to themselves on that album, but I mean, I really think they nailed it.
They did. I was like so transported back to like the early years.
Oh, for sure. Me too.
No wonder nobody listens to this dopey show.
Are you kidding? We're number 1 in science.
Yeah, you guys are number 1 in science. Nice job.
No, we're not. But did you get my message yesterday? We've moved up in the total rankings.
No, I didn't get the message.
1.9 million. We've moved up another 100,000 in the. At this rate, by April, when you go to Michigan, we should be cracking the top million. If we continue,
that would be great if we're cracking the top million.
Yeah.
Yeah, I looked up our stats. I'm surprised you don't see our stats, because I looked up stats the other day on, I think it came up for Listen Notes, and it said we're ranked 63 in improv podcasts.
Wow. Improv.
So I was like,
Did you know you were?
We're not scripted.
Did you pick that?
No, they assigned it. It's like assigned improv/comedy or whatever. That's how we come up.
So it's improv because you're not scripted,
right?
As opposed to.
Yeah.
Well,
and we don't do interview. It's not interview. It's not an interview-based podcast. It's actually funny though, because when I saw that, I was like, I'm going to do it. Let's see if AI will do a deep dive on our show, and then you can just keep asking it, like, and it'll say, oh, do you want me to look further? And you're like, yes, and then it just keeps going. It's all positive, and then there's a part that after so many searches, where it goes, many people enjoy this podcast, and I'm paraphrasing. Many people enjoy this podcasting, but some might be turned off by how the Beef Man berates his fellow cast members often. And I was like, hey,
guessing spot, it, man. I guess. You did a guessing spot on Kelly Needs a Podcast featuring Sloptown. Is that you? What?
Yeah.
All right.
Needs a podcast.
Yeah, quick channel stats. It gives me nothing on your YouTube channel. Channel data is not yet available. We're still expanding coverage for smaller channels. Please check back soon.
That's probably because, YouTube, we don't have that many followers. YouTube, we only have like 22 followers or something.
Well, that 1.9 is kind of only the YouTube stuff. Was that what I was mentioning on it?
That's probably why.
Yeah. Podcast, what? You know what? I don't trust any of those fucking numbers. Like Spotify, because we're monetized on Spotify. I don't know and they distribute to a lot of these other networks, but I think they lie to us as far as, because every day I see, like every episode I post, I see the number of streams on that, and the total number of streams hasn't gone up that many. Like if it's, let's just say, pick a number. Say the thing was like 5,000, and then we added 100 on the new show yesterday. It doesn't go up to 5,100. That's still at 5,000. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Is it like a? Well, does it? Because what's that? What was that movie? Jurassic Park. And they didn't change the counter, just stopped at 1,500. So they always kept saying, "See, we have 1,500 dinosaurs." And they said, "Well, unlock it." And then they unlocked it. And it was like, "Wow, we got 3,000 dinosaurs." You know, and that was the problem I had with it. When I was reading the book, I was figuring out all the problems that was wrong with what they were doing before they got to it in the book. I'm like, you can't do that. That's stupid. You know what's going to happen if you do that? So.
Yeah, you watch TV still. You're a TV watcher. You actually have TV.
Oh yeah, I have many TVs.
So this is
I
why
have TVs I don't even have. I have TVs.
I meant to talk about this last week. MTV ended its run last week. If you go to the channel where MTV, what's there? Do you know?
I can probably another channel, maybe.
Yeah. I'm just curious what took its place.
I don't know where it is though, because I don't watch MTV.
Yeah, I don't think anybody, and that's why it went off the. It's such a weird thing that in my lifetime, that thing came on like August of '81. It blew up. Everybody was people would have it on the background, whatever. It was always on, and then they stopped playing music videos and started doing shows, and nobody gave a fuck about it anymore. 40 years later, it just went away, like as quickly as most of the other things, like in life, CBS, NBC, ABC. Came about long before I was born. They're still there now. HBO came and went in my lifetime. It's a little weird. It's like,
well, MTV now. I think now VH1 still had a channel. They still have a channel, at least that I know of. They still have a channel, but they still show music videos. But it's more like they'll have like an hour and they'll go rap artist or something. Right.
VH1, is that still around? Probably not.
Yeah, but it's not the same VH1 that it used to be. It's more, it's like I said, it's kind of like, I know when I used to run my radio station from my house, I had time slots for genres. So like from 12 to 4, it'd be like country and western. Like from 4 to 8, it would be rock. And on Sundays I had inspirational. Sunday mornings was inspirational music. But I had different R&B, and I had all the different categories, and they were different times a day. But I don't know what the deal is with VH1 or MTV. I haven't watched them in a while. Yeah, thank you, man.
Got quiet in here.
Yeah.
GD was talking, so
yeah. Oh boy, I was looking for my razors. I know where my wrists are. Where's my razors?
Conversations to kill yourself by. That's the name of GD's next special.
But you remember PBM TV? For a while, we were on PBM TV.
Yeah, for a little while.
See, now that if that guy was smart, and I'm not saying he is,
he would take over MTV.
This would be his opportunity. Go back and do like real music videos. Get all the rights to the motels. Remember the motels?
Yeah.
It's like I told you.
Only the lonely can play.
Only the lonely get laid.
Yeah.
But yeah, play hungry like a I'm fucking dating.
Duran.
Yeah. Girls on film. We play all the 1980s MTV stuff.
Or just find the hot 80s girl bands and just play their music.
Oh yeah. Bananarama.
Yeah, Bananarama, the Bangles, the Go-Go's.
Cool.
Nona,
stuff,
was her name Nona? Expose.
Oh, Expose, yeah. The girls in the clubs, Expose, they would be like short skirts up and like, here's the beaver. Oh, here's the beaver. PBM TV, they still have a Instagram page, but it's not coming up.
But he ran out of funding a while ago. I think he had to sell whatever equipment he had.
He never admitted to me, but because even when I confronted him and he had his tech guy call, he's like, "We really want to keep you on the network." I was like, "You're lying to people about the numbers." Oh no, we're not. I said, "Listen, I'm not a fucking." I'm not like a tech genius, but I could look at the source code and see in your WordPress thing that you have a counter where you set the number. It says it right there in the code. So why are you fucking lying to me about this stuff? And I don't want to be, even if our numbers are nothing, I'd rather show people the true nothing than to lie to them and tell them we have 5,000 people there.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Yes. And that's I'm with you there, Matt, 100%.
So I think he is off the air. PBM TV.
He is. Yeah, he's off the air. He's been off the air for a little bit.
You've gone there before and checked him out?
No, I followed him on Facebook. I've seen it.
I can't be reached. Wow. Well, that was a dumb idea then, but it's a good idea now. I think maybe you could get some. I don't know. Nobody cares that MTV went off the air, right? Because it was a non-story.
Well,
nobody even gives
the radio station I had, and after because like I said, I took a hit for like a year and a half for money wise, because people that were, I was doing like a exchange program, so to speak, for sponsorship. I would promote certain things, and they would promote me in exchange, and they weren't holding up their end of the bargain, so I wasn't getting the following that I needed so I could generate revenue. But what I did was, the people that did invest, after a year, I returned every penny that they invested. I just said here, it didn't work.
I didn't get my check.
You did. If you invested with me back in 1996 or 98, whichever the 2 years it was.
I sent my $100,000 in 95.
Everybody got every penny back, and it took me. In fact, I went in the hole making sure everybody got their money back, because I was like, "Look, thank you for believing in me. It just didn't work out."
Oh, that part I never believed in.
Oh, yeah.
No.
This is interesting. We're ranked number 2 in Norway for improv, apparently, according to this.
So, you know who Abby Phillips is, and don't say second baseman for the Mets, because she's a woman. The Mets would never do it. My Mets would never do that.
Okay.
Abby Phillips, you know who she is? CNN.
Yeah.
CNN. She's one of
third baseman for the Mets.
The Mets would never do that.
You said they would have a second baseman. What about a third baseman?
Yankees, maybe. She's stealing my shit.
What?
She's on CNN. She runs that panel with Scott Jennings, and it's like an evening version of Fox's 5 thing, where they have all these liberals gang up on one conservative, which is usually Scott Jennings. But they had a different conservative on last night, and she said to him, "Get the fuck off my show."
Did she say he should be ass raped?
Yeah. She's stealing my shit.
You got raped in the ass, or glad you got fucked in the ass.
Get the fuck off my show is my thing. I trademarked that. What did I say to the guy?
You deserve to be ass raped in prison.
No,
I'm glad you got ass raped.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was dope.
Somebody
that should be a soundbite for sure.
Next Thursday,
I'm gonna go isolate that and put that on our board.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Next Thursday, I'm guesting on somebody's podcast. I don't even know the fucking name of the show. But they asked for a memorable guest that was on, and I was struggling to think of one. And after the conversation, I was like, "Oh, I should have brought up the." I'm glad you got ass raped. Maybe I wouldn't be a welcome then.
That was the one.
That's the most. That's the highlight of this whole experience. Is get the fuck off my show. I'm glad you got ass raped.
And the thing is, I don't even think about that until you bring it up.
I think that I contributed to that because I kept poking the bear with my comments. I kept poking Matt with my comments, and I was like, "Oh yeah!" And then finally he snapped. I was like, "I like to feel like I contributed to that one a little bit."
I think your presence here this morning is like bear repellent.
Yeah,
it's keeping the bear away. I don't think he's intimidated. Well, maybe he is, but I don't think, because that whole Ritalin story.
Oh, you're sick.
I don't know. You don't tell them. First of all, you go there on acid.
Oh, and Ann had this thing about MTV. I'm gonna read it real quick.
All right.
Ann from California, welcome to the show.
Why do you have to do that voice before you say her name? By the way, is that there's something in your brain that says Ann, and you got to go into your Ann from California voice?
Yeah, because it's the thing is, I need to look up Larry King to see what he actually says, because I don't remember what he says.
Oh,
but 37 years ago, MTV filmed a segment on our property for a rock band called Raging Slab. The song is called "Don't Dog Me." The scenes of monster trucks crushing cars was our cars and property. They paid well. The video is still out there if you look it up. Don't dog me.
Don't dog me.
Okay, so I'm going to put that on my my playlists right next to Crack the Sky.
Okay, and that's John's way of saying he's never going to watch it.
What do you mean? What are you saying?
You guys ever? Probably not. Engage in these online surveys. YouGov.com or uw.gov.org sent me all these surveys. They pay you to take surveys and use your political opinions about stuff. And I got a virtual Visa card from them after spending 3 hours doing.
Yeah.
it was like, wait a minute, this doesn't add up for my time. But it was interesting that none of the stuff they ask, and they ask you the same fucking questions over and over again, but none of the stuff gives you enough choices. Like the multiple choice stuff. Are you Republican, Democrat, Independent, whatever? But they never give you like room to say, well, I don't fit into any of the fucking categories you're giving me. Here's my thoughts on this stuff, and it's the same shit over and over and over. Like you ask me my age, you ask me what year I was born, you ask me what my age is, and then a couple of pages later, how old are you? Like, come on, didn't we go through this?
Like, an hour older. I'm an hour older.
Oh yeah, but I got a $25 virtual.
The thing is, I think they stopped calling me for my opinion because I never liked any of the answers they gave, my choices. And I would say, actually, none of those expressed my feelings. And I said, and they said, well, what is your feeling? And I tell them, and they said, well, that's pretty close. So I said, no, it's not. It's not close to that. It's not even close.
Wow. Why is that? Now, I'm coming back to some weird shit. There was a guy, a pastor in Israel, a Christian pastor in Israel, saying that the Jews are the chosen people above all the other people on earth. Now, it brings to mind, I'm going to get in trouble for this, but that's fine. There's white supremacism. I'd never heard of Jew supremacism before, but saying the Jews are the chosen people above all the other people.
But chosen is not the same as supremacist.
But saying they're above all the other people on the
I mean favorite, but doesn't mean they're better. Favorite and better are not the same thing. You can favor something like in our house, my wife favors cats, but she also likes dogs,
I gotta get. You know what? I'll bring that up to the guy. You need to clarify what you're saying, because it doesn't sound like he was saying they were in favor above everybody else. It would sound like he was saying they're better than everybody else. Like,
no, because it's let's put it this way: as a former theologian and someone who listens to one every Sunday, I think that guy's a quack. to borrow a term from the Beard Man, I think he's a quack. He's a fucking quack.
Can you be a religious?
He's not a real minister. Like
I don't think you can be a religious quack. You have to be a medical quack. You can't be a religious quack.
No, you can. You can be.
Darkwing Duck was a quack. All right,
so
that's
Howard
it,
the Duck. So was Howard the Duck.
Yeah.
And McScrooge was a duck.
I don't know. There was one point in time where Matt had this train of thought, and then GD derailed it, and I was interested in what Matt was saying, but now I can't remember what it was.
Joe Rogan. I got to block Joe Rogan. Every time I see one, like this, has this guy ever been right about anything? Has he been right about anything?
You have to be. There's no way you can be right. Like, there's no way you can be wrong.
I think odds, like by accident,
even Trump is occasionally right. Even RFK is occasionally right about something. Not because
but then he deliberately but when RFK is right about something, give him 30 seconds, he'll deliberately change his mind about it so he could be wrong.
Well, if he's right, he's accidentally right. In other words, he's right for the wrong reason. He's not right because of what he believes.
Right. He's not right because he came to that conclusion. He's right because he stumbled upon it.
Exactly.
I want to see, because I did ask Grok to fact check RFK Jr. on something. What was it yesterday? Trump's financial declining number. Oh, no. Boy, I asked Grok a lot, apparently. Me and Grok have like a relationship going on.
Is Grok at some point going to just say to you, hey, Matt, I know what you're going to ask me. We discussed this. Weren't you listening? Write this down. Write this down, Matt. So you have to ask me again.
But they don't have the thing I asked about RFK in here for some reason. Maybe I have to go to grok.com. Because sometimes I ask from Twitter and sometimes I ask from here. But I'll go on to the thing that Joe Rogan was saying. that Lyme disease was engineered to be a bioweapon. And I asked
there is a theory about that. But the funny thing about that theory is this, and we did a podcast on this maybe 3 or 4 years ago. The funny thing about that, and this is how I shoot holes in that theory, is so you're telling me that they engineered Lyme disease as a condition that would take 10, 15 years for it to manifest in your body?
Yeah. And it doesn't affect everybody. Like, it doesn't debilitate everybody to the same extent.
Correct.
You would think you'd probably come up with a better way to really kill people or whatever.
Yeah, that was my whole theory. And then it was supposedly started on, I think, Long Island, right? Isn't that where
Plum Island, which is creepy as fuck. Plum Island is like an island of Dr. Moreau. Like, every once in a while, we get weird looking critters that wash up on the beach that come from we think they come from Plum Island, but like, what the fuck is that? It's like a hybrid animal or something. But Plum Island is a place where they have done medical research and biological research and all that stuff.
But again, if they let's say even if they did engineer it, it's useless.
And the way they would distribute it then, on deer ticks.
Yeah. I think when we did it, I said what their plan was to fly over and all these little ticks would jump out with little parachutes on and deploy their little tick army that way.
Yeah. So there's a whole where Grok goes through debunking this whole thing that
it's completely ridiculous. It's a stupid idea. It's all that shit is all that stuff about okay, the engineering of this and then I'm like, okay, well, pick something better. If you were going to engineer something, you would engineer a fungal disorder that kills people because there's really no good treatment for a true fungal condition, and because it's spore based, it's eventually going to kill everybody. Everybody's going to breathe it in because we all breathe in spores constantly. So if you were going to engineer something to kill off the entire human race, it would be spore-based, fungal-based.
Right. Wouldn't anthrax...
Don't steal my idea.
Wouldn't an anthrax bomb do that? Like, that's what you're talking about, spore-based. That's what anthrax is, right? Just drop that from drones. I'm not trying to give people ideas about how to eliminate the human race, but I mean, and I don't know. I think there's a handling problem with some of those things too. You gotta like, I'm getting it, but whoa! Look at all this I'm getting.
Well, the thing is, a fungal thing is, in other words, we breathe in spores all the time. Like we're always constantly combating. Our immune system is constantly combating, parasites, viruses, bacterias, fungus. But the fungal, really, we don't have good treatment again. Like anthrax is not a fungal.
Like hearing you say fungal. I like hearing you say fungal. I have to admit, fungal.
So like some minor stuff we can combat, but if it was like major, again, because spores get released, when have you ever seen the videos of like how mushrooms like release their spores to make more mushrooms and everything? Imagine that on a grand scale. You couldn't possibly get away from it. It would just destroy everything.
Reminds me of Jethro Tull song, Fungal in the Jungle. Oh, that's Bungle in the Jungle. Well, it's close enough. Fungal Bungle.
He's probably talking about, jungle.
Nobody even knows who Jethro Tull was. Why am I even talking about it?
I don't know one song of Jethro Tull's.
Which is?
Thick as a brick.
Locomotive Breath.
Fuck, I don't remember.
Aqualung.
I only remember because we had an MTV video. It used to be you could get videos from MTV, produced by MTV, and they would have like 10 music videos on the cassette. And they would sell them at, the whatever local movie place where we would rent some. So we had some.
I'm shocked that Jethro Tull had a music video. I got to.
Yeah. Well, it was just, it was literally, they just filmed him live.
Yeah. They had a very, like, kid show type of concert thing. I remember the first time I saw them in concert, they brought a zebra out there, and the zebra was shitting like round balls, and he was juggling. Supposedly,
the zebra was juggling.
No,
that's worth the price of admission.
Yeah, well,
the
guy puking on my lap. The guy next to me puking on my lap was worth the price of admission. No.
And was he puking on your lap because he was gagging on your nether regions?
Yeah, people got The thing was, concerts in the early 70s, just get as fucked up as you possibly can, then, so that you have to get taken out in a fucking body bag or something. That was the game. Get fucked up. That was the whole. I don't know. Getting high is one thing, but getting to the point where
yeah,
video.
I don't
they
do
have
that.
More than one.
Yeah.
Jethro Tull music video. Shoshana sleeping. The Zealot Gene. Mine is the Mountain. I don't know any of these fucking songs. Wow.
That's why they had to make videos so that people listen to them.
Yeah, I'm probably wrong anyway. It's probably it's probably a false memory in my head.
It's probably Led Zeppelin, not Jethro Tull.
It definitely wasn't. Definitely wasn't Led Zeppelin.
Ian Anderson, the main guy from Jethro Tull, he opened up a oyster farm here on the North Shore of Long Island. I had some friends who were working for him. Weird dude, oyster farm. So you go out and you shuck oysters, but they're not natural oysters. They're planted oysters, which I don't know how you plant oysters.
So there's no pearls in them.
I don't know. You don't let them have sex. I think they're in vitro oysters. You guys ever eat oysters?
Once.
Twice. Never raw. I've never had a raw oyster.
Yeah, you definitely got to stay away from oysters. People who get oysters in warm water environments, you're just playing with fire. You got to always get your oysters should only come from cold waters, like where you're.
And they should only come when you stroke the shell.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
They say,
or if you rub the knob, or if you rub the raisin.
I'm not a big seafood guy, but they say oysters increase your virility, make you more of a manly man.
That was just an advertisement from Big Oyster.
Yeah,
Big Oyster.
Big Oyster.
Yeah,
the company.
All right.
Yeah,
that's
the only way I've had oysters. I've had fried oysters a couple of times. I used to like fried oysters.
People fry oysters.
I just don't like oysters. I don't like oysters really.
Yeah,
I'm not big on seafood.
I don't know. I know what people when I was in Louisiana and New Orleans, the guy I was with he kept getting oysters. I'm like, dude, you should not get oysters down here. Warm water, unless you want like Vibrio vulnificus or something like that. You should not get warm water oysters. People don't eat warm water oysters. Cold water only.
Now, just out of curiosity, John, do your friends, because of the knowledge base that you have and the precautions that you take, when somebody mentions something, it's like, whoa, dude, you shouldn't do that because are you like the Cliff Haven? Was it Cliff Haven of your friends, of your circle of friends?
One, I don't have a circle of friends.
Okay, rectangle, triangle.
Most of the friends that I have are younger or older that are really intelligent. So, no, I'm like I'll give you.
So I can't be one of your friends then because I'm neither older or intelligent.
Or one of the guys I've done jiu-jitsu with for years has like 2 PhDs. So I'm like, I'm not.
You're also very unlikable, TD. I mean, let's face it. Nobody really wants you for a friend.
I mean, you can't even help the guy with a bag. Let's be honest. You can't even show him some kind of courtesy without him.
Yeah. Right. It's just a despicable character, deplorable.
First of all, it's inevitable. I let somebody pick up a bag, they're just going to set it down someplace, and they're not going to keep holding it. I don't like them being disappointed. Like not they keep. No, they're just going to set it down.
It's not out at all. It's completely normal.
Do you?
What I do though, when I meet people for the first time, do you guys do this? This is what I do. When I meet people for the first time, there's 2 things that happen. One, I will predict their most likely cause of death. And two,
I often do that.
2, I will predict what I think is actually wrong, what medical problems they have.
Okay, so when you saw GD, that would be me for people listening on the radio for the first time. What did you think my eventual cause of death was going to be? And what did you think my medical issues were other than being black?
Well, I for sure thought, for sure you had thought you had diabetes, which I found out that you do have diabetes. I for sure thought that's like, oh, he got diabetes. Probably a little bit of mild calcifications in your, coronary arteries, a little bit of plaque buildup. But yeah, you'll probably die from heart disease. That would be my guess.
According to my last test within the past year, my arteries are clear of that kind of stuff.
And what kind of test was that? Do you have calcium channel scoring, or did you?
No, it was multiple. It was a multiple choice test. They kept saying, "Do you have calcium in your heart?" I went, "No."
No.
I fill out these things all the time. They ask me, "This is, do you have this?" I go, "No." Do you have that? I go, "No." So I know I don't have them.
But also, heart disease is a good guess because that's the #1 killer in America anyway. So it's not like I'm, usually it's more of the obvious stuff.
What about me? I have no heart. What's going to happen to me?
Oh, you're probably going to die from cancer.
That's probably true. I mean, if you look at my family history.
Yeah, but your brother has 12 cancers and none of them have killed him.
We don't know that. I haven't talked to him since last November 4th.
I checked, but I had a list and it says, "Is Matt's brother's dead?" And I went, "No." So I checked it on the list.
What's his name?
North Carolina guy.
All right. That's right. That's absolutely right. My mother named him North Carolina guy, even though he was born in Brooklyn.
Well, she was like a prophet.
A non-profit prophet.
Yeah.
I don't want to die of cancer. I want to die. I want to die like Tony Soprano.
And I know your brother's Native American name was Ducks from Whopper.
Wait, you have to say that without laughing because nobody could fucking understand what the hell you're saying.
It's just so fucking stupid.
What? All right, but I want to die like Tony Soprano.
Just so you know, just when the Reverend was recording the news thing, he couldn't get past the first news story because he kept laughing so much. It took him almost a half an hour to do the first news story.
Was that the bomb thing?
Yeah, yeah, but the bomb thing. He returned to Lost and Found, and he couldn't get through.
Yeah,
he kept laughing.
I lost my bomb. Yeah, I want to die like Tony Soprano. Oh, we don't know that Tony Soprano died that way, but that was, just somebody sneaking up behind you, putting one in the brain, and just goes to black. That's the easy way.
I blame the blacks, sure.
Yeah, but people think that dying in your sleep is the way to go, but we don't know how horrible that is because nobody's awake to tell you, and nobody ever come back to tell you, boy, that was a horrible way to go.
Now, I don't think. Well, John would be a good one to ask about this because, in theory, my understanding is that every night when you're in your deepest sleep, your body actually goes into like a type of paralysis. And
my body?
Well, yeah, just yours. Nobody else's. Just your body goes into like a type of paralysis. And so now I didn't research this. This is just
no way.
Huh?
No way.
No, I did not research this in the least. It's just one of those things that comes up in conversation when you're talking to people at a bar and they mention it. And so you go like, "Oh, that's interesting. I'll talk about it." And so your body's supposed to go to like, in your deepest sleep, you're going to like a paralysis and, dead weight and the whole bit. And if you wake up by accident, that's when you have like the hallucination there's somebody standing over your bed staring at you and you can't move because your body's still in that state of paralysis. And John is like, "What the fuck?"
What the fuck are you talking about? Unless this person has sleep paralysis, I don't know that the rest of us are paralyzed every night that we sleep. So I'm gonna say
all the time
it didn't register as true with me either. But sometimes you just go like, "Look, I don't have enough facts to just say shut up."
Yeah.
I mean, because I know that when I'm in my go ahead.
Did you see there's new research out there where I briefly saw this where they're actually saying that it's possible that our brain activity continues after we're declared dead and that we should actually be waiting now instead of just declaring people dead, waiting to see if they'll come back to life.
How long should we wait?
How long? Yeah.
They don't know, but they're like 45 minutes or whatever. They keep showing all these stories of people coming back where they're like in the body bag and all of a sudden they're like, "What the fuck is going on here?" and shit. And you're like, "Holy fuck." And I mean, I had one like this before. We were working and we coded somebody and they passed and they left them on the monitor for some reason. Usually you don't leave them on the monitor. Usually you shut the monitors off. And the doctor was talking to the family and everything. And I just happened to be on over there, and I saw the blips on the monitor, and it looked like the person's chest was rising and falling, and I was like, "Holy fuck!" And I ran in there, and the dude was alive.
Wow!
After we'd already coded, after we'd pronounced him dead and everything, he was alive.
But if you now, Jen, you probably aware of this. Back way back in the day, when they buried, sometimes they would bury somebody, but they would put a string attached to the toe of the supposedly dead person, and the string would come up, and if the person regained consciousness, the bell would ring, so they would know to dig the person back up.
Yeah, I heard that. But that's also why they have that they installed those door latch releases on the inside of the coffin.
I'm sorry, that sounds like an old wives' tale to me, and I don't even.
I was fucking around.
I'll say
how much oxygen are you gonna have once you're buried? How much time is there oxygen remaining in that?
Well, if in theory, here's the deal. In theory, if your breathing and rate is that slow, how much oxygen do you need?
Well, and how much time is we had brain death without oxygenation to the brain?
So like I said, that's why they used to put the strings on the people's with the bells.
So do you then have to hire somebody just to watch the bell all the time?
They did.
Yeah, I don't know. I would say that even if that was the case, how many times did the bell ring?
2010, we were playing Catch Phoenician Shores, an outdoor like arena on the beach, and Mikey asked for Wooly Bully. Starts counting it off. Uno, dos,
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, he got to what's the three? Seis? No,
it's 1, 2. They say 1.
Yeah,
one,
and we heard a blood curdling scream, and the guy fell dead on the floor, on the dance floor. And then this guy Steve Constantino, he goes over there. He's gonna say the Lord's Prayer over the guy. Like he doesn't even try to resuscitate at this point. He grab me, give me the microphone. Our Father, whatever. And then they called the ambulance, and they're waiting for the ambulance to come around. People are mulling around now, and they're like, well, "What was the guy's name? Who?" And I think I would say from the Fight Club, Meatloaf was Robert Paulson, and they said, "What was his name when Meatloaf died?" I said, "His name was Robert Paulson." Before you know it, people were walking around going, "His name was Robert Paulson." I was like, we're waiting for the ambulance to come. The ambulance finally comes, and they try to resuscitate the guy, and the guy's dead. And they put him on the stretcher and pull a sheet over his head, put him in the ambulance. It's like an hour's gone by now. They take him away, and they go, "Okay, start the band up again." Like, are you fucking kidding me? And so I went home, and my immediately thing was to get on Facebook and see people wanted to start the party, and we did start the party up again. I felt like that was in bad taste. This guy died on the dance floor in front of me. That's a first for me. It actually was the first natural one, but I said probably a first for him too. And people, oh, that's in bad taste. That's in bad taste.
How was that in bad taste?
So, and then they were arguing with me, like, you got to take that down. I was like, it's my fucking Facebook page. Don't tell me what I got to take off of my own Facebook page. I think it's funny. I'm leaving it there.
Yeah.
And then the next night we're at a gig, and people show up and say, oh, the guy lived. He was all dead for an hour laying there, and they took him to the hospital. He woke up at the hospital.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, did anybody even check him out? That's the thing, too. You know, like when he first fell down, if everybody was just mulling over him, if you said nobody did any type of life-saving measures, they probably put him in the ambulance and hit him with some epinephrine or something, and all of a sudden he woke up with
Facebook page fucking people. Just watch Fight Club. Anyway.
I still do a Fight Club joke, and people actually get it, which is funny.
Wow.
Younger audiences don't get it, but if they're my age or they get it, so it works out good.
Good movie. Took me 3 or 4 times to actually totally appreciate Ed Norton's role in that movie. Very good.
Great
very
movie.
Good.
I still watch it every couple of years just because it's really
I've never watched it all the way through.
Really?
Really? Why would you not watch it all the way through? I mean,
you don't even get it.
I've never watched it from the beginning. I've never watched it from the beginning or the end. Like sometimes I'm channel surfing or something, and I may see like a clip in the middle or a preview and I'll go, oh, Okay, and now skip over it after that.
This is a man who doesn't see any value in The Godfather or Goodfellas or the fight.
Okay, I have not seen Goodfellas, so I don't know that there's no value in it. Don't put words
I thought you
in my
started
mouth.
watching it. You
No, I reported I haven't started watching it yet. I watched Godfather. I haven't watched Goodfellas.
Goodfellas is really good, man.
But
he doesn't know good movies. This is what we're discovering about him. He doesn't know good movies. How are you Unforgiven? Have you watched that all the way through?
I've watched Unforgiven about 20 times.
All right. Well, at least there's some hope for you that you can tell a good movie when you see one.
And that's like my 14th favorite Western. I mean, my favorite is Silverado.
Yeah, that's a good one. Silverado's
too loud.
Not loud enough.
Well, I shouldn't say the dynamics are bad because there are times where you got to turn it up because they're fucking whispering, and then they come in with this big orchestral thing. It's like you're blowing my fucking speakers now. Lawrence Kasdan. He needs to get that the dynamic range under control for that movie. But other than that, it's a good movie. It's a little long.
Have you seen Shane?
Yeah.
That's a great Western. The book is awesome.
Maybe. And if I did, it would have been so long ago.
I feel like Disney
did I get it mixed up with other old Westerns? No, because I used to watch a lot of Westerns growing up. And so I probably saw it like on a Sunday when they used to show like the Western movies on a Sunday movie.
Yeah.
But I've seen so many of those because of a lot of Sundays. They're all mixed up in my head. Just like I used to watch all the Kung Fu movies. And they're all, with the exceptions of the ones that had Bruce Lee, every other Kung Fu movie I saw growing up are like one Kung Fu movie.
Yeah. That's understandable.
Huh. Halloween.
Like the Westerns that stand apart for me as a kid were the ones that, like, well, a lot of the ones with Clint Eastwood. Or Lee Van Cleef.
The Ugly, Fistful of Dollars.
And Lee Van Cleef. His. So those kind of stood out to me. But even then, all of the Lee Van Cleef ones kind of become one Lee Van Cleef.
Well, because they're all the Lee Van Cleef movies with Clint Eastwood are all pretty much the same movie. I mean, they're basically pretty similar. But yeah, you remember when Lee Van Cleef had that TV show where he was a ninja?
Yeah, but I don't remember the name of the show. What's it called? Lee Van Cleef Ninja?
I can't remember what it was called, but it was kind of good. It wasn't bad.
There was a story Clint Eastwood. Him and Burt Reynolds in the 50s, they were kind of TV kind of guys, and they were going to Paramount for like an audition for a movie, and the guy told them, "You can't act." They said to Burt Reynolds, "You can't act," and to Clint Eastwood, "You're ugly." And Burt Reynolds said, "Well, I could learn to act, but you'll always be fucking ugly." Burt Reynolds in the late 70s, and he was a huge fucking box office.
Yeah, he was a huge deal. That's why he got to do Cannonball Run. He's not even because he didn't have to do Cannonball Run, but they threw so much money at him.
There was one, if I'm gonna one decent Burt Reynolds movie. I think I don't know. I was never a fan of his too much on anything.
With Dom DeLuise.
No, the end. You know what? That's two. I got to say that's a pretty good one. The end. I forgot about that one, but I was going to say Gator. Gator is a decent movie.
I did not know the Cannonball Run was supposedly based on a real thing, a real Cannonball Run that they used to have back in that day.
Wow.
Yeah, it was. They were basically. It was just. They were just. I think that was around the time that we had a national speed limit or something. And they were like, no, we can't have that. And they were like racing across the country trying to avoid police and get us. And that became like the premise for the movie Cannonball Run.
Right. Dean Martin was in that movie. Sammy Davis Jr. is in that movie.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he played a black guy.
Yeah, there's a lot of problems with some of those movies that we remember fondly, though. If you think about it, Cannonball Run, they literally abduct a lady and keep her drugged.
Oh yeah. But that's only because that's what happened. That's only because that's what actually happened in real life, supposedly. Supposedly.
Except we made them look like heroes, so that's really bad. It's very.
Well,
you guys ever
see Cooper? On the woman.
Cooper's
Adrian Barbeau was in it. Adrian Barbeau was in it, and that
the one in the Lamborghini.
Yeah, that's worth the ticket.
Yeah, she was good. What was it, Swamp Thing?
Adrian Barbeau.
Yeah,
from Maud.
Yeah.
And then but nobody cared about her until she did Playboy, and then we saw her tits, and okay, she's good. We like her.
Yeah, wasn't she in Swamp Thing? Wasn't that what she was in? Where she
Yeah.
big old boobies?
I think she was the Swamp Thing.
No, she wasn't the Swamp Thing. That was what was between her legs. Hi-yo!
So Halloween's coming up next week.
Next week? Goddamn! Really? No.
Yeah, it is. It is next week.
Yeah, I have
Is
a
it
dentist
really?
appointment.
Holy shit!
Right.
God, after you turn, and I know you guys know because you're older than I am, but after you turn 50, oh my God, does time go by fucking fast?
Yeah. Actually, I think it depends. Now, this is the theory I developed when I was in school. No, so not when I was in school. Once I got I was still in school. I was in college, but I had a working job as well. When you're like this was my theory. When you're a kid, you measure time by Christmas. You're waiting for your Christmas and your birthday. That's pretty much it. And then you go to school. Then you start school and you start measuring time by the weekend because that's when you get a break from school. Then as you become an adult, you start measuring time from paycheck to paycheck and when bills are due. So now I'm retired, I measure time by the third Wednesday of the month because that's when I get my Social Security check.
Oh, so you got paid yesterday,
and you figured this out in grade school?
No, the 15th.
Oh,
this was your working theory in grade school, you said?
No. When I was a teenager, I was like 18 because I was still in college, but I was working a full-time job.
I see.
I was in college part-time, but I was working full-time.
I measure time now by when I have a show coming up.
Yeah. See, so that's what that affects our perception of time is what you're looking forward to.
Well, I'm not necessarily looking for. I'm like, oh shit, I'm running out of time for this show.
Well, when I say looking forward to, I mean it's a demarcation. It's an event.
I'm of the same mindset. I think between gigs, between shows, it's kind of weird because I'm kind of caught between two worlds now, between the music stuff and the paint stuff.
Into gigs.
Yeah, I have a paint party coming up tomorrow afternoon, which is at a middle school. Which is, and my wife says, you should just have fun with it. You're overthinking it. I'm stressing out because I'm thinking there's an art teacher there, somebody who has a master's in fine arts.
So you can learn something.
Yeah, but why isn't she teach, or he or she, or whatever, teaching the class? Why are they hiring me to come in? Now I feel intimidated.
Because they know that at the level they are, they cannot break it down and teach it simply. They would spend more time critiquing and say, that is not a straight line. You call that a straight line? What the fuck's wrong with you? Who was your teacher? Oh, me. Well, yeah.
The painting itself.
It's like a parent trying to teach their kid to drive. Even though the parent knows how to drive and they know the kid, sometimes they just can't teach that kid because they're too familiar.
Yeah, I want to show you the painting because I'm not. I don't know. Are you guys a fan of classical art and like this?
I like nudies.
I like Renaissance.
I like Rubenesque women.
All right, fine. You guys are just gonna be fucking clowns.
No, I'm serious. I like Rubenesque women.
This is
that's dope.
It's kind of based on Van Gogh's Starry Night over a City thing. I hate that fucking Starry. To me,
it's like Starry Night.
I want to fucking cut the guy's ear off.
Yeah, it's like Starry Night meets
the Van Gogh exhibit though. The Van Gogh exhibit was pretty dope.
Really?
Yeah, it was really good. It came here to Grand Rapids. We had it for a while. It was really nice. I like that.
I'm not a fan of Van Gogh. I think he should be Van Gogh. So you can
put subliminal messages in the swirls.
It kind of looks like Gotham.
So I have to teach this to kids, and basically I'm not really supposed to comment on the painting and say I fucking hate Van Gogh because I would do. I'm a big fan of cityscapes. I would
Van Gogh. I'm glad he's Van Gone. Hi-oh.
No. Yeah, exactly. That was. I want to. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Van Gogh's work at all. That whole, they couldn't do stars better than that. I mean, there's better ways of doing stars.
We don't know how he saw stars. See, some people, sometimes are giving these artists credit for being creative, but sometimes that's just literally how they just see the world. Like they walk down the street and that's what they see, and they think they're painting reality.
Yeah,
that's what they see because their brain is defective. They're like, that's how I see stars. It's like, Scream. What's wrong with Scream? That's how I see people. They look like that.
Yeah, so, but with a middle school thing, first of all, kids, they're very. I'm not cut out for that whole thing. Kids get distracted easily. They're especially now their attention deficit shit is like off the rail. You keep their attention for 2 hours to do a painting like that. I'm stressing it. There's no ways about my way. You gotta stop overthinking it. I enjoy doing the painting shows when it's something I like and when it's not kids.
Well, you could have just said no.
Yeah, but they don't tell you what it is or who your audience is until like 3 or 4 days. Like, so right now they'll ask me, we got a painting in zip code. They give you the zip code 3 months from now. Are you available on this date? You say yes. And then a week before the gig, they say, here's the painting and here's who you're doing it.
You're painting for the Black Panthers, the new Black Panthers or something like that.
Exactly.
Or say this is a KKK rally. And you're only allowed to use white paint.
Right.
So do you have like a non-compete clause where you couldn't just like do this on your own? Just
no.
With your own paint parties?
Yeah. Well, that when I book paint parties on my own, I choose the painting. I don't allow.
That's what I mean. Can you do that?
Yeah, I don't allow them to say, "Well, we'd like to."
So they're always nude women. Matt is always painting nude women when he does the ones that he books himself.
I will do the easiest landscape that nobody could fuck up. Like this, the Bob Ross's very first episode, something like that. Like, let's do a mountain. Mountains are fucking easy as hell. Let's do something like that.
I would fuck it up seriously because we had. I went to a paint party once, and it was scheduled for I don't know like 2 hours. We started doing it. I'm like, this is boring as fuck. I hate painting anyway. And I just made my own painting and it was fucking horrible. And my wife made fun of it. And she's like, this is so stupid. And I was like, well, whatever. I don't care. And I'm going to throw it away. And she's like, no, give it to me. So she took it and she put it up in her office at the VA where she was a podiatry nurse. She put it up at the VA and people told her constantly how awesome it was, how good it was. I'm like, this is the ugliest fucking painting ever. And all the veterans are like, oh, it reminds me of, when I
trauma.
No, because it was a landscape and I think it was like supposed to be in the winter time. But it had like, I had drawn like a C-130 flying over and paratroopers jumping out of it and all this other stuff. And I put like Death from Above or something like that on there. And it was just completely ridiculous. And people still loved it.
Wow. That's very cool. See, now that didn't inspire you to keep doing it. Like, that's what, when somebody, my first endeavor into painting, I fell asleep and left a couple of things out on the coffee table that I was working on. My friend Frank came over and he said, what is this? You were doing paint by numbers? I was like, no, that's freehand. He goes, wow, it's pretty good. And that inspired me to keep doing it. Or if it hadn't been for that day, I would have quit painting probably that night.
Nobody wants to see that.
Swan. Yes, no, we do want to see it, Swan. Thank you, Swan. We do want to see it.
It's terrible.
We do want to see it. Thank you.
It's horrible.
Yeah, just make sure it's not copyrighted. I don't want to get into any kind of legal battle.
Well, it was a paint party. It was a paint party, so you still had to do this like the beginning stuff. It's freaking horrible.
Yeah,
I'll go get it. I'll show it to you.
I think it's beautiful.
If it's in her office, I'll go get it.
So,
her office is there.
Yeah, it's upstairs. I'll go get it.
The other part of this thing that I'm, because I like getting tips. Generally, when I do them in the house, I'll get like $100 tip or something like that.
Wow.
At a school, I'm not going to get any fucking tip. And corporate things, I have corporate things coming up. I don't get any tips for. Last Thursday night, I did a thing at a luxury apartment complex. It was a truck full of pumpkins going down a dirt road in the middle of autumn. That was the painting they picked. And this old Asian fella came in and he did, because they were serving hors d'oeuvres and finger food and pizza and drinks and stuff. And when it came to show the painting, the guy turned his around. It was a fucking slice of pizza. He painted what he was eating. Like, all right. Fucking like all right, if you don't, just stay home.
I know I had when I was in high school, they asked us to do, we were doing one of our art projects was we would do self-portraits. So I did a nude of myself. I did a nude. And
I don't like it already. I don't
want
to see it.
And they had a problem with the fact that I had my penis. I drew, I had, and they thought it was that we should be doing that in high school. So I drew like it was wrapped in an ace bandage. So it wasn't, so you didn't see the penis. It was just wrapped in an ace bandage, like the mummy, So so then it was more like, but I said, but you don't see the penis. They said, but we know it's there. I said, well, how do you know it's under the bandages unless you take it off? If I take off the bandages, there's a penis under there. But if I don't take off the bandages, you don't see the penis. It's just implied. And then they go, but we know it's there. I said, what if I drew it with my backside? You only saw my butt. Then you would know there's a penis in the front. So I can't do the butt side either because you know there's a penis in it and it's in the front. So they're like, I had this argument over and over and over again. So we wound up, the picture did get displayed, but it was with the ace bandage on my penis.
Now you need to get that image out of my head, please.
All right, are you guys ready? This is horrible.
Yeah.
Hold on, we got to do this.
Oh, it looks like a 5-year-old did it.
That's fucking great for a first painting. It's very good for a first painting.
Yeah, I like the way you have the little lanterns falling down.
I'm not surprised somebody wanted to buy that. And you know what? You did a good job on the paratroopers and the helicopter. And did you do that from memory? Just from like you didn't have any kind of like reference to work with?
Yeah, it's just it didn't. Yeah, my mind it didn't come up.
That's what I'm saying. Just from memory. That's pretty fucking good.
I just want to see one. I don't think that helicopter is actually airborne. I don't think that helicopter could function the way it's drawn.
Well, helicopters aren't supposed to function anyway, so
if they're not supposed to, then they don't.
They defy all logic and science.
They don't. If they're not supposed to fly, they don't. They can't. That's my logic. They like to say bees aren't supposed to fly. Well, if they're not supposed to fly, they can't.
An Overwatch helicopter. It's not. You got to look at perspective. This is way higher than the helicopter. This is closer to the ground. This is dropping the troops from up higher. This is the Overwatch.
Rand Paul. I'm just gonna Rand Paul is claiming that Anthony Fauci's COVID cover-up is responsible for the killing of more than 18 million people.
Well, then isn't that admitting that COVID actually existed then? They can't have it both ways.
Right. Well,
first it doesn't, either they say it doesn't exist and it wasn't real, or then they're blaming other people for it. First of all, we don't understand the evolution of science, and when we understand things and how we grasp things, and as the day-to-day goes by, that we learn more about the disease process itself that we're experiencing. They're all fucking stupid. Oh, you said we didn't have to wear a mask. Okay, that was original. Everything changes and everything evolves by the information that we're getting. That's what science is. People are
they can't even grasp something as simple as if the ice caps melt, the waters will rise, because they're thinking to themselves, well, if you put ice cubes in water and it melts the glass, it doesn't rise. It's like, yeah, but if you take the ice cubes that are not in the glass and they melt into the glass, it's flood. They don't get it. They
think that the iceberg that they see is all that's there.
Right.
Like, no, it's 3 times larger underneath the water. Oh, first of all, you fucking morons.
Anyway. And also, it's not just that melting, but the ice that's actually on the land that will be coming into the water as well.
Yeah.
That's not in the water now. It's on the land. But once it melts, it'll be in the water, and the water will rise. That's stupid.
Here's the thing I'm asking Rand Paul right now. In the United States.
Why was he born?
No, he's claiming Fauci for 18 million, the deaths of 18 million people. In the United States, we had a little over 1.2 million people die from COVID-19. How, even if you blame every last one of them on Fauci for some reason, how do you get to 18 million from that? Is Fauci like worldwide? Is he in charge of other countries and how they dealt with?
No, he's not in charge of the countries. He's in charge of the blankets that they use to cover it up. He owned the blanket company.
The what is responsible for the large scale deaths in every country is their response to a global pandemic.
Right.
Countries that responded well had a smaller death toll. The ones that didn't respond properly or appropriately, like ours, had a much larger death rate. Trump sits there and touts that, oh, because of me, we got vaccines out. But now your administration doesn't believe in vaccines. So what the fuck is even the point of it all if you've got idiots in charge who can arbitrarily throw out numbers and say this is, oh, he's responsible for this? Well, what's the basis of that? Even if you sit there and fact check and they're like, oh, that's fake. I know because I'm smarter than you. Like Trump insists he's smart. Everybody he encounters, he's smarter than. Like, how's that even possible? Oh, you know more about engineering than this engineer. You know more about construction than this construction. This.
He knows more about the military than his generals. He knows more about the military than his generals.
He knows about how to get out of military service. You gotta give him credit there.
Yeah, but most of it, I'm pretty sure that his generals, none of them tried to get out of military service.
I don't even think the bone spurs was his idea. To be fair,
it wasn't. It wasn't. Yeah. He didn't know what the bone spur was.
Yeah. But Rand Paul's.
That's why he can't remember which foot it was in. That's why he can't remember which.
You would think you'd have to have like basic math skills or something to get even to become an MD, right? I mean, like 18 million people. It's like, where the fuck are you getting that number from? I don't even know if worldwide. Oh, well, probably worldwide.
They can make up whatever they want. I mean, that's what they do. They make stuff up. Statistics are the easiest thing to quote with no basis for it.
99% of statistics are made up on the spot.
But only 50% of the people who say that believe it.
I've heard that at least 18 million times now.
Yeah.
All right.
It's all terrible.
I'm sorry.
But I forgot. I'm even more depressed than I was. Thank you.
I forgot. It looks like bears are definitely afraid of beavers. Now, we've talked a lot about bears and otters, not since Steven left, but I'm surprised that bears are afraid of beavers, but apparently they are.
It's the work ethic. Beavers are just amazing. They have an amazing work ethic.
They are. They do. It's incredible.
I was looking forward to hear about this Publius Harius guy. Publius Harius guy. I don't know anything.
Oh, the Greek emperor. I mean, the Roman emperor, Publius emperor.
I don't know. I never heard of it until yesterday. The Publius Harius, Publius the first. I don't know.
I did not know what was even being talked about. I'm like, what is? I don't know what that is.
I don't remember what we were talking about too.
He says, "I'm back." I thought you were supposed to have been on the air.
Yeah, you were supposed to be on the air. I sent you a link yesterday. Remember, you were going to come on and just like talk about your 15 minutes at the Denver Improv tonight. Now, how people are supposed to go buy tickets? It's probably too late. It's already sold out, or no, probably not sold. I don't know.
Yeah,
the Denver Improv.
Yeah, are you doing
improv? Give you an opportunity to promote your show at the Denver Improv.
Did you get the improv?
He didn't get the link because he was working last night.
Is you an improv at the Improv, or are you doing a comedy at the Improv?
A comedy, 15 minutes. You're doing 15 minutes at the Improv.
You think that's pretty ambitious for how long you've been doing comedy, Bear Love?
Well, how long have you been doing comedy? I don't remember.
Like what? 2 years?
I don't
know. Let's ask Rand Paul. How long has Bear Love been doing comedy?
My question for Rand Paul is, who wanted to fuck Ron Paul? But it's just...
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm trying to think. Nobody I know.
Mrs. Paul, the fish stick lady.
Oh, Bear Love is here now.
What happened to you not getting the?
Do you see him? Link? I don't see him. I heard
maybe he meant he didn't get it in time.
I heard the pop. Let's see it.
Or he didn't have it in time. There he
is. Hello.
Hello. How are you?
Very good. How are you guys doing?
All right. Tell us.
What's on the bottom of your hat lid? Your hat lid. What's on the bottom?
Yeah. Sorry about that. It wouldn't be a. It wouldn't be a comic. It wouldn't be a comic if he didn't show up late on your show.
Oh well, yeah, that's a good point.
No, that's not true. Not true? Well, I take that back. I'm not a comic. I'm a humorist.
Right. Bear, how long you been doing comedy?
Sometimes it feels like forever. Is what you're supposed to say.
That's not the question. How long have you been doing it? Now, what's it feel like? Now you're talking about some guy who's.
I just celebrated. I just celebrated my 1 year in comedy, and I can't tell people that because then they'll stop booking me at the Denver Improv and Comedy Works and all these legendary clubs. Yeah, I'm on a paid show tonight at the Denver Improv, and I'm getting
cool.
And I get to do a 15-minute set tonight.
1 year. That's I gotta say, I'm impressed. Not that because you got a phone call from Andy Andrus and Doug Stanhope. For a guy 1 year in, they don't.
I was 2 months in when Doug Stanhope called me.
They're very snobby. And what the hell made them call you? I mean, what prompted that phone call?
I sent him a text message saying that I wanted to book him in Colorado.
Oh, there you go.
I get you.
There you go. All right. So who's the headliner tonight at the Denver Improv?
It's just a everybody gets to do 15 minutes, so it's like a
showcase.
Yeah, it's a showcase.
So there's no headliner when they do that. That's
a showcase. No,
but Nick Dean is pretty much our headliner, though. He's a past pro at Comedy Works, and he's on the show.
All right. What is your show? You're storyteller? Is that what you do, or you tell jokes?
Yeah, so I am a storyteller, but I got trained by people like Mike Eaton and Ivory Jones and Eli Helpern, and I was a successful musician. I was in a band, Perfectly Imperfect, so we toured a bunch. I got to play like 30 nights a month when I was in my band, a Grateful Dead cover band, and so I hit the ground running in comedy very fast. And so basically what they taught me is I was like, hey, can I open up for you? Because I knew people who were in the game, and already had pretty good, following. And they were like, here's why you'll never open for me, because I'll never have a storyteller open for me, because you got a 5-minute set, and at the end of your set, they're going to clap, but you don't actually warm the crowd up when you have them there sitting. So he taught me that he wanted like jokes, like joke to get the crowd moving, to get the crowd open, to get them, to warm up. And so I was taught that if I'm going to be an opener, then I should open the crowd. You know what I mean? And so I've had to get away from all of my storytelling just so that I could be a comic and give some boom, 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 boom. But now that I have 15-minute sets and I'm getting more respected, I can throw in 1 or 2 stories each set.
Wow. Seems like the deck is stacked against people who don't do jokes. Like,
it depends. It depends. I mean, if you want to do back-to-back jokes where you're trying to get a laugh every basically 30 seconds, some crowds don't understand that either. It's like an evolution of comedy itself, where if you remember watching comedy when you were young, like where they're just doing boom, 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 joke, like somebody like a Rodney Dangerfield wasn't really telling stories. He was tying all of his jokes together and doing a bunch of jokes in a row, and you're dying laughing. And then as other comedians come along, they're telling stories. So you've got a good mix of both. Like, for example, when I host, I don't do gallows humor comedy when I host. I do like I even tell people when I go up there to host, I'm like, well, I'm a gallows humor comedian, but you can't really do that as a host because you're warming up the crowd. So I do a bunch of like silly jokes.
Yep.
And then, but when I do a set by myself, I do all gallows humor, which is I'm not trying to average a laugh every 30 seconds or a groan every 30 seconds. I'm more like at 1 minute. Every 1 minute, I'm transitioning to a new joke, trying to get a laugh, but they're slightly tied together. Like, I don't tell stories anymore. I think that's also an evolution of some comedians too, where you start off kind of telling a story and then you kind of break it down and find your voice and decide what you're going to do. So even if you started off being a storyteller comedian, you might not end up being a storyteller comedian.
I will, because I'm a one-trick pony.
Yeah, but you're a humorist. There's a total difference. There really is a difference. I mean, I know you say that for fun or whatever, but
no, I say it because it's real.
Yeah, and
I keep saying because I want people to get used to the idea that they're not the same.
Yeah, it's a totally different thing. A stand-up comedian is completely different from a humorist. And a comedic entertainer or a comic or whatever, in my opinion, too, is different. Like, I do comedy, but if someone was to ask me, "Are you a stand-up comedian?" I always say no. Like, I'm not a stand-up comedian because that's not primarily what I do. What I'm doing is I'm entertaining people in a comedic fashion. If I
Yes.
was better at it and I've been doing it longer and I don't consider myself an amateur at it, eventually, maybe someday I'll reach the goal of being a good stand-up comedian. But more likely, I still consider myself just a comedic entertainer, if that makes any sense.
Totally.
You know, when I hear humorist, I know GD often brings up Will Rogers. I think of Andy Rooney. Andy Rooney. I don't know if you guys are old enough to even know who
was good.
Yeah.
But that's, I mean, I wouldn't, though I enjoyed Andy Rooney and I read his books, I don't think I'd pay to go to a comedy club to see him or even a theater to see him do a one. It's just like, well, no.
But also the material that he covered on 60 Minutes is not the same type of material that I cover.
No, but his books, more of the stuff I'm a fan of. But still, I don't know. It's just like, wow, it's just long form. It's long form, and I don't know if I would go out.
It's a niche. I've had someone who's working with me tell me that my mistake was that I was doing comedy clubs. That's what I was available to. When I produced my own shows, I produced them in theaters.
Mm-hmm.
And he was saying that what I do is more conducive to a theater atmosphere than a club atmosphere. And that's true. And I knew that, but, which is why whenever I did my own shows, I produced them in theaters and not on comedy clubs.
But the guy who bought my piece of gear the other night, who told me he was a comedian, I don't want to mention the club. He said he sold out this club recently. He did. It's not a huge club, like 120 seats. Sold it out. Every person came in. Every seat was taken, and he didn't get paid.
What the fuck?
That's exactly my response. Like, that doesn't. Why?
How's that
why
even if it was $5 a ticket, the dude sold out the place. Should have got paid. That's ridiculous. Who's booking these people and not paying them? I pay my people as soon as they show up. A lot of people don't get paid till like a week later or whatever. As soon as you show up, if I didn't pay you as soon as you showed up, I got distracted somehow. And the people even laughed. They're like, "You paid me before I even did my set." I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, whether you suck or not, you're still getting paid.
Yeah, the ticket price isn't even just it. I mean, the dinners and all that stuff. The club made big money. If you sold out 120 seats, that's probably 120 dinners. They probably at least. They all had the 2-drink minimum, but most of them probably ate food and stuff. And that's thousands and thousands of dollars coming in to totally stiff the guy. You don't get paid anything. And
that's a $5,000 show.
Unless he wasn't stiff, that was his agreement. Like he goes, "I'll do this for whatever reason."
No, he was angry and surprised when he told me the story. He was shocked that.
But how many times did you say he did it?
I don't know how many times he did it.
Because I can see being shocked the first time, but if you go back a second time and you're still not being paid, that's beyond shock. That's into
right. And I didn't get into a long conversation because this was as he was leaving. He was telling me this story. But if you're angry, why don't you go back and bring that up to the guy? Like, come on. I mean, there is a point where I don't like being taken advantage of. I mean, you made big bank tonight, and I'm the reason you made bank tonight. Give me a fucking $100 or something.
Yeah, this is a huge issue with comedy performers, is that there's so many that will just jump on doing something without even asking if they're getting paid, and then they're surprised when they don't get paid, or they're surprised when they do get paid. I'm like, you need to find that stuff out before you even agree to do the show.
Yeah,
am I getting paid? My people ask that. I'm like, yep, this is what I'm paying you.
Yeah.
And it's not a lot, I don't think, but I mean, they're making more than I make per hour, but still you have to have that value. And if you don't have that value, the industry just suffers as a whole.
I agree.
Even though we say it's a small, each individual area that you're at, but if your comedians aren't getting paid or demanding to get paid, then the venues are just like, oh, fuck it, I don't have to pay them. Or we'll get subpar people to do the comedy, and because we're allowing them the chance to do it. And that was the problem with comedy in the first place. When they had to strike at the store because they were doing sets there and they were big and they weren't getting any payment. They weren't getting part of the.
There was a strike at the store.
Oh, years ago, many years ago. They had a comedian who committed suicide in front of everybody.
What?
Many years. Yeah, it was a long time ago. Mark Maron talks about it. pretty often.
God.
What do you mean in front of everybody? Like how? What was the method?
Jumped off the building or something next door, I think.
What? That's wild.
Yeah. No, that's abuse.
I think I know somebody who was a comedian. They were homeless, and I think for a while they were living on the roof of the Comedy Store. But I don't want to put it out there because if I'm getting the story wrong.
No, I think you're right, but it wasn't the Comedy Store. It was the comedy bungalow where the comedians stayed behind the Comedy Store, where they would put people up, and they were living on the roof of that. I think that was the story.
Okay,
yeah. Steve LeBetkin, who was the comedian who jumped off? He jumped off a 14-story building, landing on the cement parking ramp right next to the Comedy Store.
Wow. Oh my God!
Steve LeBetkin committed suicide by jumping off the roof of the Continental Hyatt house next door. His suicide note included the line, "My name is Steve LeBetkin."
Steve didn't kill himself.
This was right after the strike ended, because apparently he couldn't get any work after the strike.
We're not making fun of that of YouTube. If you're listening, we're not making fun of suicide. I'm not doing that.
So I produced a bunch of shows for a club here in Colorado. I did 50 shows. That's how I got on my first 50 shows, that I produced my own shows. And basically, and I was doing it just because I knew I, wasn't going to get booked unless I did all that work, you know what I mean, as a new comic. And I made sure that we didn't get a bad name for not paying comics. So I always paid the comics, but I wanted to make sure my friend's venue was doing good. So I, for 50 shows in a row, did not take any pay. Even though I produced about a $3,000 budget every single night off just the tickets that I sold, because we would hit our club minimum, which was $25 every time.
Yeah.
And so it was about, I was generating about $3,000 for every show, and I never got paid. And basically, so I finally quit. But my buddy went to Full Sail Music School. That's how I'm at the Denver Improv tonight, with being 1 year in, is because what I did is I made myself. I didn't wait for people to book me. And in fact, I took all these people that had like a little bit of TikTok pop or a little bit of Kill Tony pop, and then I hired them for my show, and I got to open up for them.
Well, did they bring people in? Because
no.
That doesn't work. Yeah.
Never. They never did, but it was just to build my resume.
Yeah, I got it.
And then I went out and put 800 flyers with a generic, just 2 days ago. Last night I got done passing out flyers for tonight's show. I passed out 600 flyers for tonight.
Old school.
Yeah.
GD did that when we played the Giggle Room here. He went, and those were the only people who came. People.
So they show up, and I'm the only one who, I can get 25 people to show up. And so basically, it's about 800 flyers gets me about 40 paying people, and I don't even put a comic's name on there. I just say stand-up comedy tonight, and I'm just really talking up the venue. We're going to be at the Denver Improv, and so I really sell that ticket, and then people show up. All the comics thank me because they actually got to perform for a crowd. They've all performed at these venues for nobody. And so every show that I'm on, there's 40 people in the crowd. And so now I've got a reputation that I bring people, and I'm funny enough to have my spot.
Wow. What time do you go on tonight? Let the people know.
At 7:30 at the Denver Improv. And if you say Bear Love at the box office, you can get in for free.
Well, that's way too early for me. 7:30. I'm not ready to laugh. I'm not ready to laugh till 9:30. That's when I look at my clock and I said, "What time is it?" It's 9:27. No laugh.
Yeah, I did the same thing that Bear Love did. I produced all of our shows, and I was the host on all of them because then I didn't have to pay a host.
Wow.
But I've never taken pay for any of the all my money goes to the comedians. So
Same.
I've never been, I think I've only been paid for a couple shows.
Yeah.
And if it's not that much money, usually I have them give it to the other comedians. Now I've had that backfire before where the people who booked it kept the money and didn't give it to the other comedians. And that really pissed me off because I said specifically, give my cut, split it 4 ways or whatever, because I have a good job. So like I don't need you to give me $50 or $25. Just give it to the other people. But yeah, that's what I did. But not getting any money after a while, you're like, it's getting old.
Yeah, well, because there was some disrespect too. It was like, okay, I'll do this for free, but not also be disrespected.
Well, they don't know that I'm doing it for free, unless I'm getting booked on a show. But when I get booked on a show, it's a lot of times I turn them down. Like if people ask me to be on a show, most of the time I turn it down anyway, because I'm always like, I don't know that I won't do a show unless I'm sure that unless you know your audience likes gallows humor, because otherwise I'm like, but some people like to book shows where if they have like 3 or 4 people, and I didn't know this because I'm still new, 2.5 years in, I still consider that new with producing. But one of my friends was telling me, he's like, if I've got 4 people on lineup, I try to have, different types of comedy.
Right.
So I try to get one gallows humor comedian if I can.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, that's awesome. I'm like, too bad I've never been on one of your shows, motherfucker.
I likes to now, Matt, you know Tom Myers. And
I do not.
Whenever
really.
there's a few shows I produced, and I would put him on the show because he and I do not have the same type of comedy, and I don't, and so I want people.
He's funny.
I want people to. He's very funny. Yeah. So I want people, no matter what kind of sense of humor you have, to have a good time, because you don't know who's going to be in the audience, And if everything is, unless you're running a clean show, which I think is probably the only exception where everybody's clean. But other than that, I try to have a plethora, a variety of humor, so that everybody has something that they can they can grip and go. I had a good time, even if they say I enjoyed the first comic, but the next 3, because weren't that funny or whatever. I got people saying to me, I don't say fuck enough. I said, because I have a bigger vocabulary, I don't need to say fuck that often.
Mm-hmm.
I only say fuck when it's important to the story.
I've never heard that phrase uttered until today. You don't say fuck enough. You don't say fuck enough.
Oh yeah, I've heard that.
I've heard people say you don't fuck enough.
Yeah,
no one's ever said that to me.
I never fucked enough.
See, I don't swear. I don't swear in my sets, unless the only time I swear in my sets is if it's a host set, because it's like a short joke. Like I do this one joke. I do like 2 or 3 Jackie jokes when I do a host set. And then I'll tell the people, I'm like, I'm going to do some jokes from Jackie Martling. I'm going to do my jokes, see if you can figure out which ones are which. But I usually, the joke that I almost always open with, if I'm going to do if a hosting for Jackie, is I'll do the one where guy goes to a job interview. You guys know that one? Yeah.
So Matt,
if you don't swear in that one, it doesn't hit as well.
Yes.
So Matt.
Yes, Mr. Love.
Okay. So what I was talking about yesterday, and so I used to do mortgage in San Diego. I used to run a team, like a call center and like a boiler room. And one of the guys was from Russia that was my employee, and I inherited him when I got to office, because he was already doing finance in there. And they were like, if you want to rent this office, it comes with this guy, and he'll close loans under your license. And it was this crazy guy, and he barely was ever closing any loans because he was working on refinancing Las Vegas casinos. He did one the whole time we were there. He made $50,000 on one deal, refinancing a $150 million Las Vegas casino. But he would be in there also trading diamonds with De Beers, speaking in Russian, just like in the back office, just yelling in Russian about diamonds. And he said, he goes, you Americans don't even know your own government. He goes, you don't even know Polybius. And I was like, and I was like, what is Polybius? He goes, well, Polybius, he goes, every American should be taught this, but you guys don't even know the roots of democracy. He goes, where your checks and balances come from is from a Greek historian named Polybius, and he was captured by Rome. And so basically, he was captured by Rome. And back in the day, you didn't kill the smart people or the royals. You captured them and then made them work for you or ransomed them back to their family. And so Polybius was in that. It was right before the fall of Carthage, I believe, like 200 BC. And basically, so Polybius, he was captured by Rome, and he was there during the fall of Carthage and a bunch of shit. Like he saw like a lot of Caesars get backstabbed. He saw this, like the Senate try and do this, and then like he saw all of the shadiness happen. And you remember the movie Gladiator, where the emperor is like reading out of that book, and it's the history of all the different emperors, and it's like this one was betrayed by his sister, and there was a snake that they killed her with, or this one jumped off of the Comedy Store roof. It just tells the different history of all the different royals. These are real books, and actually the Bible, the Jewish history, is called Kings 1 and 2. From the Old Testament, that used to only be read by Jewish kings. It wasn't able to be read by us. It was because it was the actual history of the kings of the Jewish kings. That's the book Kings 1 and Kings 2 from the Old Testament. Now, they used to have that for Rome. And when Polybius was captured, one of the Caesars of Rome, one of the emperors of Rome, he forced Polybius to read the history of Rome and then use his intelligence to predict the masses and of human government, and so that this new Caesar would not be destroyed. And so he read the whole history, the rise and the fall and the rise and the fall of Rome, all the daggers going into the Caesar and all the different stories. And what he came up with is the cycle of human government, which is why we have checks and balances. And I think it's important to talk about this in a time where we have Donald Trump trying to take our rights, where we have other people trying to take our rights to bear arms. It's not for hunting deer. It is for killing politicians that are corrupt. And I'll show you what Polybius says about it. And so Polybius says our first form of human government is chaos. The first form of human government is chaos. We're shitting in the river. We're drinking out of the river. We're getting cholera because there's no, we're just literally shitting in the river. There's chaos. And so the first human government is called chaos. And let's say there's like an old horse farmer. He's doing good out of the chaos because horses, help you get around. So he's a real jolly good fellow, though. He's made a lot of money with this horse trading.
He's a jolly good fellow.
And so the first step of chaos rises this amazing, this amazing person comes and rises, and this becomes, he says, hey, you guys are all coming to my property anyways. I've put a couple security guards out there so nobody can shit in the river. Because if you're going to come here, we don't want you getting cholera after you leave here. So I put a couple security guards out there. And, so if you're going to drink out of the King's River, though, you're going to have to pay a little bit of taxes because I have to, keep the other people on the outside of it from coming. And so he's a really jolly good fellow. He stopped cholera, but you're going to have to pay a little bit of taxes to the king. And the first step of human government out of chaos becomes monarchy. And he was a real jolly good fellow because he didn't have to do that for us. We could have just kept dying. He didn't have to put some of his horse money out there. So it was a monarchy, and it was a really good guy. He was like trying to save us. He was like the patriarch of the neighborhood. And we all thought that it was worth giving him a little bit of taxes to keep the security guard details rolling so nobody shit in the river. And so after the first form of monarchy happens, though, something horrible happens. This poor guy dies. And then the next form of government happens. And because his children take over. Now it's not a jolly good fellow. Now it's a spoiled, rotten children take over. And the next form of government is spoiled monarchy. Well, now all of a sudden,
I'm not sure you got all this right. I don't know.
Just let me tell my thing, and then I'll.
Well, none of what you said checks out with the history of them that I'm looking up.
I know, but let me just listen to this, and trust me, it's amazing. So after so what happens is these children stop taking your tax money. They stop taking your tax money and putting it towards cholera. And now they start taking it towards building statues of dear old dad. You know, he was a jolly good fellow. Like, you guys don't want to build a statue by the river of my dad? And so now, all of a sudden, this spoiled, rotten monarchy is taking your tax money and padding their pockets. And so Polybius said the next step of human government, then they say, we don't want taxation without representation. We need a Senate. And so every single time after there's a spoiled monarchy in any form that human government comes, the next step is a Senate, representation for the people. And then what ends up happening every single time is the senators get bought out. And that ends up the next form of human government, which is called spoiled, rotten Senate. All the senators are bought out. It's not going towards your interests anymore. Your senators don't even listen to you anymore, which is obviously where we are right now, a spoiled Senate. You know, with people making more money when they get to public service than they had when they weren't there. So, and then every single time that there's a spoiled Senate where all the senators are bought out, every single time the people have a revolution, they oust those politicians right in the street. That's when the emperor gets killed. And then humans are right back into chaos. They're shitting in the river again. So this is
checks out, Bear.
This is a 2,000-year-old
fable
from Macedonia and the Greeks. And this is the reason we have checks and balances, to have guns so that the monarchs don't get out of control, to have Senate so that the kings don't get out of control, and to have, military so that the people don't get out of control.
Well,
and so that's the reason we have checks and balances.
According
to that's Polybius book.
Encyclopedia Britannica, Polybius is a historian who wrote about these things that the Greeks came up with long before he lived. He lived 200 BC to 118 BC, and was a historian who wrote about those things. Didn't come up with them on his own. So none of that stuff checks out. And Polybius, not Polybius. Polybius.
No, it's Polybius is how everybody says it.
According to a couple of sources here, pronounced Polybius.
Okay, anyway, but he wrote so the famous work, though, if you want to look into it, Matt, the famous work that they teach in college is called Polybius Book 6. So if you want to learn about it, you can read Book 6, but that's where our checks and balances come from. That's where democracy comes from. And that's why if you take guns away from people, it will guarantee a corrupt Senate the rest of their lives.
I think you tell yourselves things, Bear, and then you tell them over and over again. And this is why I get hate mail on you, to be honest with you, because you say things that were so assertive that I know this, and everybody comes back with fact check that guy. He's full of shit. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about.
Right, but let's talk about the human government. You don't think that's the cycle of human government?
No. I do think senators are often people get senators, congressmen, whatever, representative government get bought out by corrupt interests.
So Polybius in political science like classes, that's 101 in democracy. So trash me bringing up a Polybius theory, and it will only fall back on your ignorance.
Well, you can say that, but what you've said so far doesn't check out, because he could not have invented a government system of government that came 500 years before he was born.
The checks and balances is what he invented.
No, It was part of what he wrote about. It came about before he was born.
Yes.
He wrote about the history of it.
I know. I told you about the history of it.
You just said he invented it.
No, I said he invented the checks and balances.
No,
because
that existed 500 years before he was born.
It was being overthrown at the time he was alive, and that's why the Romans were trying to get him to understand human government.
Romans didn't invent that. The Greeks did.
I know.
And it existed 500 years before he was born.
Okay, but the whole human government is where we're at. And so that's the conversation. I didn't want to talk details about someone you never knew. I want to talk about the human cycle of government. How do we start in chaos? Is that true?
Not always, no.
There was a government when we came here?
No, yes, there was a government when we came here. It was not.
We're not even having a real conversation. Just tell me when you want.
Well, all right. Well, goodbye, Bear. Go have fun on your gig tonight. No, the human cycle of government, it has many different kind of evolutions. You have Native Americans had government. They did not have the type of government that Europe had, but they had governing. They were governed by a chief, and it was not democratic. So, I mean, you could just fucking make shit up all and tell yourself, I got all this education and not get one single fact right. I mean, what are you doing there?
No idea.
Yeah.
No idea. No
yeah.
idea.
Yeah. No,
I was lost. I was lost.
I don't want to listen to a bullshit artist bullshit. And that's what, I'm sorry, Bear, you're a fucking bullshit artist. You can ramble and talk, take a little bit of seed of something you learned about and just ramble on about it. That doesn't mean you're an educated person, because everything in Britannica and Wikipedia now both says you're just fucking talking at your ass. Sorry. Yeah.
This is
anyway. Well, we appreciate comedy.
Yeah,
but
I was like, comedy. All right.
Yeah. But try to support comedians all they want. And they want to come on and just like fucking, I know what I'm talking about, and give you a bunch of horse shit. Sorry, no, I don't have a lot of fucking patience for it. Anyway, so, yeah.
Back to the well, I guess we're done. Never mind.
Yeah, we are done. Well, one thing I wanted to bring up with you.
Well, yeah, let's end on a high note, a happy note.
Well, I don't know if this is Jeselnik. I just caught a reel by him saying that, and I'm surprised this hasn't like lit some people up. He's saying 99% of stand-up sucks, which is that's looking for a fucking fight, isn't it? I mean, I love Jeselnik. Don't get me wrong. But why would he do what? It's like poking a bear a bit in the comedy world, looking for other comedians to now come out and say, well, what makes you the fucking arbiter of it? What do you think about that?
A couple thoughts on that. It depends on
what everybody on the open mic level.
Yeah, I was like, depends on if you're talking about the amount of flooding that we have. This goes to the same thing with any type of profession or similar endeavor, right? Where we can say, well, there's millions and millions of artists who are musicians, and the majority of them, how much of them are really good? Like what, 1% to 2%? So if he's talking about every comedian or every person out there that calls himself a comedian, he's probably, that's a high percentage, but he's not wrong that most comedy sucks. However, comedy is also subjective. So he's in a totally different category of comedy than most comedians. He's a dark comic, gallows humor comedian. Most of the comedians you see out there are not that. Most of them aren't that. So if that's the kind of comedy that he likes, I can see where he would say that most comedians suck, but maybe he's picking a fight on purpose.
Yeah.
But I also think
for being Bear, that's fine. And thanks for the $2. You can leave all you want. You weren't looking for discourse. You were looking to come here and just talk bullshit and pump yourself up with bullshit. I'm sorry, but that's the fucking fact. Done. But yeah, coming back to Jeselnik, I think absolutely. If you look at, but I don't think it's hard to know, but I don't think he was talking about the open like mic level or the beginning level in comedy. Maybe he was, but I thought he was talking about the
pros
Netflix comedy specials, the 800-pound gorilla comedy specials. That's what I thought he was meaning.
I think the percentage is high, but I do agree with him that most of the stuff that I see, for me, I don't find funny. Nobody's making me die laughing. A lot of times when you watch it, you see that, and again, it goes back to that evolution, whereas I look at when I started doing my quote comedy, I was telling cute little stories. I wasn't happy with what I was doing because it wasn't me. And then I evolved to just doing dark comedy. But now you're seeing the reverse, where these people worked really hard, or maybe they work sort of hard to become comedians. They go do their show, and all they're doing is playing to the crowd for the first 10 minutes, not even telling a joke. And you're like, and then they're telling stories about their time on the road or what has happened to them since they've become comedians instead of telling actual jokes. So they're not even doing comedy. Whereas Anthony Jeselnik goes up there and does jokes. He does comedy. So you're like, okay, that's why same thing with Maria Bamford. Maria Bamford gets up there and does goddamn 45 minutes to an hour. And it seems like she's all over the fucking place and everybody's dying laughing. But somehow in the end, she ties it all to fucking together. And you're like, how the fuck did she even do that? And 45 minutes just went by and you were laughing your head off. But I can't remember one goddamn thing she said.
Right.
But you enjoyed that entire experience is what you remember. So, but most people, you can't do that if you watch their stuff. Most people are not funny or tying together where they've brought the whole audience together and you've really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So I kind of agree with him in that way, but who am I to say either way? Because I don't think I'm funny.
Yeah, I think I have to agree because first of all, I find it hard, even if I like Jeselnik, if I'm watching a special on television, I think it's funny, but I'm not laughing out loud, even with him. And he's somebody I appreciate a lot. And but when I go to a comedy club, I'm thinking of this last time I went to see Attell, and there was 6 people on. I was disappointed that I hadn't laughed harder. Like I didn't laugh outwardly a lot. It was almost the same as watching something on television where I'm like, yeah, that's funny. Yeah, that's funny, but I'm not laughing loud at it. So on that level, I think I agree because those were not the open mic level people. Those were with season. He had a lot of them on. But even with him, I was expecting to laugh more than I did. I didn't laugh that much.
It's different. It's because you're seeing all types of different comedy and some stuff. I think part of it is nostalgia also. And I think that's why Jackie's so funny. Jackie will get up there and tell you freaking getting 100 jokes and you're laughing because a lot of that brings back jokes you heard on the school in the schoolyard or jokes you heard your dad tell to his friend or whatever. And you're just laughing the entire time at the ridiculousness of it because it's funny to you. But not a lot of people do that anymore when you go to see them. You're like, they say that like, oh, I get a laugh every 30 seconds. And you're like, do you though? Do you really get a laugh every 30 seconds? I'm thinking like every 3 minutes we might be laughing at you when we want to break it down as producers. Like, can this person get a laugh every 1 minute? So it's very difficult. The last time I laughed really hard at anybody was when I went to see that Red Skelton impersonator in freaking Tennessee. I died laughing at. He was doing so much funny skit shit. That was all stuff that Red Skelton did, but it was fucking hilarious and he did a great job and I was dying laughing. I hadn't laughed that hard since I saw that animated video that Jackie did where he just doing all his jokes and it's digitally animated, which was pretty funny.
I gotta watch some Red Skelton thing because you bring it up. I had a very close friend who loved Red Skelton. I mean, he would sit there in anticipation of the Red Skelton show being on CBS, and I would look at it then and think, well, what is funny about this stuff? I got to look at it from a fresh perspective now.
I mean, literally, like the stuff that he does was like he'll just do goofy stuff, or and part of it is with his sound guy where he did this thing. He's like, this is a mouse going to get cheese, and he works and he does these like funny faces where he's a little mouse and he gets close to the cheese and he's about to get the cheese, and all of a sudden you hear a loud snap and everybody in the crowd jumps. because it was a mousetrap.
Yeah.
You know, so he's doing all that stuff. And it was fucking funny, dude. I was just dying. I'm like, because it was so old.
Yeah.
It was like it triggered that part of that nostalgic part of your brain. And it was like silly. And then all of a sudden I'm having memories of, you know, going to the fair and watching melodramas and all this other stuff. Because
I'm gonna
it
have to look
something in you.
I'm sure there's got to be stuff on YouTube from him. I gotta look him up today and see. Maybe I was too young to appreciate it. Maybe that's
maybe you just felt maybe it was like too corny. But you know, if you like that stuff, like if you can remember all the black and white TV shows that, like when I was a kid, there was still black and white stuff on TV when you got out of school.
Right.
And you would watch that old stuff and you're like, this shit's fucking hilarious. Like the Little Rascals were hilarious.
Yeah.
You know, like Harold Lloyd, that dude was hilarious. You know, Charlie Chaplin and all those.
Oh, I love that stuff. Yeah, I love that stuff. There's stuff I don't get that people thought were really fun. The Our Gang comedies and all of the Little Rascals and all that stuff. I never laughed at any of that stuff. And all my contemporaries did. And when I was a kid, they all thought that was fucking great. And I was like, what am I not getting here? I don't know.
I bet if you watched it with a new perspective now, like that's what I told you about that Red Skelton guy. I'm like, you should look him up. I think you'd really enjoy it. And I told Jackie too. I was like, you should look him up. I'm like, I think you would really enjoy it by looking at it now. And you're like, it's pretty fucking funny.
Yeah.
Especially with the stuff we see now where, you know, I don't think it's that funny.
Yeah. I think it's time to wrap this up. We're over time.
Yeah, all right.
Tomorrow we Chaz Sampson, who's going to be a buzzkill, will tell us about the 7 principles of 7 principles, and how to clean your room, like Jordan Peterson. You clean your room. And so that's that. Tomorrow, one more day to this dreadful week. All right, thanks for being here, John. Appreciate it.
Thank you guys. Always good to have fun with you guys when I'm off. Thank you. I appreciate it.
DD, any final words about your bomb?
My bong?
Your bomb.
No. Matter of fact, they're still waiting for someone to pick it up at Lost and Found.
Okay. See you guys tomorrow. Don't forget to turn on your radio. Bye for now.
to me, listen to me, listen to me now. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me now. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me now. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me now.